I'd like to show you something.
I love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no, I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything. And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this,
You have to ask yourself one question. Do I feel lucky?
Matt Mardigan and Chuck Norris. How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the 110th episode of Toxic Tuesday. Shout out to all of you. Thank you for your patience. I appreciate it. Obviously, I know you guys are used to Gary, Nerdrotic, and waiting, so probably not a big deal. But I'm glad you're here. I'm glad I am here. I'm glad we're all here. We got a huge panel tonight, and yeah, it's been a very, very, very busy day. Being responsible, then doing more Bond, and then had Poor Choices, Dadcast with X-Ray Girl and Tugs. Thank you for having me, by the way. I got a lot of new subs from that show, so if you're coming in from that show, thank you, and hopefully you enjoyed tonight's show, and of course, also the Midnight's Edge After Dark, me Tuesday night show. Appreciate you guys as well. We already got a member chat here from McFly, who's a member for 2 months. Hey, McFly says, will you be discussing toxic Christmas movies, i.e. Fat Man or Home Alone? So many white people. Hope you have a happy Thanksgiving, and I will, and I hope you as well have a great Thanksgiving. And yes, we're going to talk some. Trust me, believe that, sir. Trust me, I'm excited about doing that. And welcome to the show, FKHC 2005, Mr. Zen in 1993, Darth Viewer, the Mighty Vulcan Lives, Keely Chow, Davina Duckworth, D. Bud Martin, JDL 41, Meonia Comic Store, that'll be the day, Radioactive, hello. Hey, the Angry Gamer, Jack Tarlad, Ruben, Christopher Haynes, who I saw last week in Milwaukee. Good times. Stephen Mack, hello. All right. Welcome, guys, to Toxic Tuesday. So, yes, obviously, the third movie in the Roger Moore Bond saga and the 10th cinematic movie overall, titled The Spy Who Loved Me from 1977. You can't get any more prime 70s than 1977. I mean, that was the year of the Southside Hitman with the White Sox. I mean, you had especially the mid to late 70s. Seems like it was a wild time to be alive. I wasn't there because I was not even like conception, but it seems like a lot of history was going down, especially around that time. So let's see here. Let's bring in the first set of dudes here. We'll start off with the Keto Simple One himself. How's it going, Dustin?
Oh, so glad to be here. I have no idea what I'm talking about. I'm going to make a fool of myself, and I'm excited to do it. How are you, Nick?
I'm good, sir. I'm happy to be here. I've been having a nice, busy day, just the way I like it. Happy to be hanging out with you as always, spending Tuesday night, especially we're on Bond month, so feels good to keep some traditions going. And I know we obviously We had a little, quick chat about what we're going to be doing for starting off 2024. That's going to be a big thing when that drops. So a little bit of a month away, folks.
Dude,
but we
2024 is
we
going to
got
be.
to tease ya.
2024 is huge. 100%.
Straight up. It's gonna be awesome. And trust me, when we say we're starting off with a bang, this bang's gonna be mighty huge. Believe that. But Dustin, I'm glad you're here. I was listening to was it this morning? Yesterday, but I was listening to your stream at like 6 a.m. It's pretty awesome to hear Dustin which is at my time, I think 6 a.m. Like,
yeah, I go live at 7:30 Eastern time on Sundays. Yeah,
I love it. I love that you're up and early just right away. It feels like you've already been up for a while too. I feel like it's just Dustin as I see you now. It must be something about that keto.
and I do a Saturday one now too, and that's booked out till mid-March.
Oh,
I have guests on, and I'm booked out through March.
You are killing it. You crazy son.
If anybody wants to be on my talk show or talk with me about keto or realistically, like if you've quit drinking and you're doing better with yourself, you quit smoking and you're doing better with yourself, you're doing anything to better yourself, I want to talk to anybody, not just keto, because we can all learn about all of that stuff. So
you heard the man here, folks. And I know there's a few of you like that here. So you know how to contact this guy. He's got a YouTube channel. He's on the socials. He's very easy to get a hold of. Trust me, I can vouch on that. Make it happen.
Just send me a dick pic and we'll make it work.
Oh, see? Now you know he's bringing the incentive. All right. Let's bring in not Sean Connery, that 70s rock fan.
My name is Bond. James Bond.
Good evening. How are you all?
Oh, James.
Playing about with the soundboard. How are you all tonight? Good evening, chat. Good evening, you guys. How's things going?
It goes.
Are we up for this?
Very. Oh, we're getting it up for this. We're getting it up huge.
Oh, I'm already up.
Yeah. This first appearance of a very special recurring villain. So this is from that point alone, this is a good movie.
One. I also argue there's a great toxic female in this. We'll get into that.
We will get into that. Yeah,
I want my boy, Hungry Boy, great guy by the way. So, this one's not toxic. Like, oh, I can counter that argument. I can counter that. So we're gonna be doing that. Hungry Boy, if you're out there listening, you're gonna change your mind.
One of the more
change your mind.
Interesting Bonds, and not necessarily everyone's favorite, but it was one of Cubby Broccoli's favorites. And that Marvin Hamlish theme song, the Carly Simon one, which even if you don't like that kind of music, kind of sticks in the head, you know, that theme song.
Oh, I'm a fan of this soundtrack. Oh, trust me, I'm gonna be going the way Tom was going off about Oppenheimer. I'm gonna be going off about this soundtrack. So I'm a defender of this soundtrack. So.
Marvin Hamlish, yeah.
Yeah.
And a car, and a very special car in this one.
Dude, nobody does it better. You had two great versions of it. Oh, so good. I can't wait to get into it.
Cool.
But 70s, glad to have you here, sir. It's going to be a huge night tonight. And let's make it huger. How's it going, Bruce?
Don't tell me that we're not going to be talking about an underwater car that I was standing there for 9 minutes underwater watching. How are you doing tonight, Mr. Nick Weiser, Dustin, and that 70s rock fan?
We're very decent, sir. How about
you?
We're doing very well indeed.
Fantastic. I'm going to be working on this model. A friend of mine, Hungar, the Starbarian, friend of ours, a nerd's nerd, she made a cast of it and made the STL. So a friend of mine printed me off the huge size model.
Plaster cast.
Figures about that size.
Plaster cast.
You know, there was a group of ladies involved with rock and roll back in the 60s and 70s called the Plaster Casters.
Ooh.
And do you know what they made plaster casts of?
Oh,
appendages of rock stars.
Appendages of rock
Apparently, Jimi
stars.
Hendrix needed extra plaster for his. So,
Whoa.
Been having a great week so far. My ankle last week was like toxic all throughout the week because I've been fighting cellulitis, and my ankles
Yeah.
swelled up to like the size of a grapefruit. Went in on Friday night and been on these meds ever since then. Now, mind you, I'm not trying to quit drinking at all. I love beer. I love alcohol. I do, but I haven't had a drop since the start of November, and Halloween was the last day I've had any alcohol. Not
Okay.
a lot. But anyway, I finally got my foot back to where I can see definition. I can see the veins. Because for a while there, I mean, it looked like the Thunder situation in Big Trouble in Little China before he exploded. It was bad. So
Okay.
anyway, life is good.
Well, I'm glad life is good for you, and I'm glad that you're here, and I'm glad we could continue to be the dudeliest dudes that ever dude on the planet. Thank you for being here, Bruce Lombardo. Now let's bring in the red shirt. How are you? Just another red shirt.
I'm very well, thanks, Nick Weiser, and looking forward to talking about this movie. I would go say, as far as that theme song goes, this is one of my all-time favorite Bond themes.
Oh,
I love the song "Live and Let Die," but I don't think "Live and Let Die" is a Bond theme. I think it's a really good song that they stuck on the movie. This, to me, is a Bond theme, and it's a great one.
All right. I look forward to hearing your side of that. It seems like we're going to have a lot of various opinions on various things about this movie tonight. I'm looking forward to discussing it. And let's bring on a nice welcome back to the man who doesn't come from the back door, but he actually took the front this time. Hi, Gerry.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm trying to take a dick pic for Dustin right now.
Gary was
There, I got it. You
just
wanna
for the
see?
chats.
There you go.
All right.
Dick Burton.
Just for the chat's knowledge, Gary was telling us before the stream about his amazing pubes.
Amazing. Hold on. They were like pretty good, but they're amazing.
Well, I'm one of those reverse dolls. You remember when you pulled the hair that it would get longer? Basically, if I want my hair to get longer, I pull up and my pubes shrink in. And then when I want it the other way, I pull my pubes down and my hair gets shorter. I don't have to get a haircut. I'm built funny. And by the way, I heard your favorite Bond song was An All-Time High.
That's number one on my list of Bond movies. If you inverted the list upside down, it would indeed be at the top.
Inverted and upside down. Okay.
Inverted and upside down.
Inverted and
so inverted that way and upside down, yes.
Yeah, I love this movie. I'm not a big Roger Moore fan. I'm a Sean Connery fan.
That's fair.
Because he was, he made the character more like Simon Templar, which I guess had its place. But he did make three. That's right. He made three good Bond films. Live and Let Die, which I kind of agree with you, Brian. That's like a great song that I think was tagged on.
Yeah, Red Shirt.
Oh, was it Red Shirt? Red Shirt.
Yeah,
I agree.
I wouldn't say anything as smart as that. If anything smart, it's coming from Red Shirt.
You're usually the one that makes comments about rock and roll, so that's why I auto go to you.
Indeed.
But yeah, it's like it's a great song, but it doesn't really feel like a Bond song. But then you go to the other two great films, Spy Who Loved Me and For Your Eyes Only, are just great.
Moonraker was what came out after. It was originally supposed to be For Your Eyes Only. We'll get into that later. But
For Your Thighs
Only. They
only.
wanted to compete with, they wanted to compete with Star Wars.
Yeah.
Or ride the wave that Star Wars created.
That
this
popularity.
In the 70s, the Bond movies did get very thematic. They had the whole voodoo thing, they had martial arts. They had the following Star Wars, the blaxploitation. Yeah, they kind of went with it. Yeah,
yeah, they did.
That's I don't know. I'm sorry. I gotta throw a flag on that one. Live and Let Die is not blaxploitation because it wasn't made by a black production company. In fact, it's one of the things.
Wait a second, Red Shirt. Hold on. Blaxploitation was started by the major studios first.
MGM did it first,
and then.
That's not the film. I looked it up on a film site, so I'm going with the definition they gave. But I'll say this: blaxploitation doesn't work in Live and Let Die because it is something that couldn't be made today. It is toxic because the villains are the black people. The heroes not.
They're not the
Shaft
heroes. That's right.
You might be able to make the case that Shaft is blaxploitation, but not Live and Let Die. Live and
how
Let
cool
Die
is
could not be
Yaphet
made today
Kotto?
any more than Blazing Saddles could.
Right. But how cool was Yaphet Kotto's death? Huh?
Oh yeah. No, I like the movie. I don't know. I think people pigeonhole it now, and then they go, okay, so now I can dismiss it because I've stuck it in one of my boxes, and I'm like, no. Pull that back out. Look at it again. You haven't. You've made one too many assumptions. But that's not the movie we're talking about, so I don't want to distract.
Well, exactly.
The
But to
conversation.
go back to explain why it's called blaxploitation was because white studios were
We
making
still got two gentlemen in your back door, Gary. We should get them out of there. And I
Ooh.
got a super chat to acknowledge
Do
really
it.
quickly.
Do it.
We got
Do it.
Amelia Clark's scroll arm for £2 British, I think that is. £2 British. Up too late again. Glad to be here. I'm glad you're here, by the way. Thank you for being here. I do appreciate the super chat. Welcome to the show, Clobby. You're back again. 2 straight weeks of Bond. I can keep you going on here.
Nick, nobody does it better than you. Except for maybe Gerry, of course. That goes without saying, right?
By the way, Don Ecker thinks that he came up with that name. I went, no, I'm sorry, buddy. Clobbery did.
Oh, thank you. Is he using the name I made up?
Yeah, he calls me Gerry. Everybody over on KGRA calls me Gerry now.
Oh, well, I'm honored. I'm honored. But as long as I'm number one in your heart of the Jaggeriers.
Of course you are, Clobby.
Good to see you, buddy. And hello, everyone.
Clobbery.
Yes, even better. Clobbery, even better. But you're the only one allowed to call me Clobbery. Anyone else does it, that's your ass. Right?
Hello,
Clobberino.
Love this movie. Love this movie.
Oh,
man.
I do too. I'm glad you're here, dude. I'm so
you,
glad
buddy.
you're here for this.
Thank you, bro.
Oh, thank you, man.
That was spoilery. I hate this movie.
Okay,
That's
so
Maybe.
our guy Mark D2C is here, but he's not here because he's handling some stuff. So everyone give your shout outs and your respects for Mark D2C. He's handling some responsible stuff while having the slideshow going for this movie. So Mark D2C, you don't gotta respond, but I just want to say thank you, sir, because we do appreciate it. And we even have Backdoor Geary with us for the fun. So you just get that
I do want to say this for Mark.
sliding. Oh yeah.
I want to compliment him in the fact that he's the one who taught me to use hand sanitizer before and after the lotion.
Nice.
I'm the center square, so tonight I'm Paul Lynn.
It's gonna be one of those nights. I can feel it. This night is gonna be a bit on the sticky side.
It's gonna be death by snoo.
Who's Bruce Valanche then?
Bruce.
What? What?
I don't know.
It's gonna be sticky. It's gonna be a sticky one.
Sticky tonight.
It's gonna be a sticky one.
Mop up on aisle
Who brought
5.
the tissues?
Tissues. Fuck that. We've got the economy size paper towel roll.
Why do that when you could just go bare hands?
The quicker picker upper.
Bounty. Anyways, let's start off with getting. So for me, like I have many things I absolutely just treasure about this movie. One of them is that this is one of my favorite Bond openers ever because it's not only just sets a stage for what's to become this movie, but also it has such a breathtaking sequence because you got obviously you don't wake up with Bond, you wake up with another man, and you see a lady. You're thinking, "Ooh, what's going on here? What's going on here?" And they're just chatting, and you're thinking, who are these people? Why are they important? And it's like, okay, I think they're trying to tell me something until you see that guy on the snow hill that Bond is supposed to pull out from. Because remember what he's told he's got to pull out from there? Tell him to pull out from his mission. And obviously, I laughed at that scene, by the way. Like, tell him to pull out. I'm like, oh, that's great. They're getting the jokes running right off the bat. Wasted no bloody time. I freaking love that, by the way. That
cheeky, sexy jokes.
I had a fun bit with that, but the fact that he not only obviously has to go around going down the hill, and he happens to shoot a certain guy because he's trying not to get killed because he's on a mission like Triple X is on a mission. Vin Diesel's movie Toy didn't rip off that name, by the way. No, nothing to see there, just one big coincidence. And then he does the great leap, the leap of all motherfucking leaps, dude. I remember. I think I was a late teen or early 20s when I first saw this one, and my breath was just like freaking taken back from this shit. I was like, this was like before Keanu Reeves said breathtaking. This scene just blew my damn mind. Even in the early to mid 2000s, I was just like, holy shit, this is fucking awesome. This is 1977, so killer.
Yeah, and I love the guy he shoots is Michael Billington from UFO.
Yeah. Well, it's got a lot of connections to Jerry Anderson with this movie.
More than
all those others.
There are other ones? Oh, cool.
Yeah, Derek Meddings did all the miniature effects.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Wow.
Yeah, but Jerry Anderson sued them because he said he'd submitted a script for another project that was very similar to this, and he felt they were ripping him off.
I didn't know about this. Really?
Wow, really?
Yeah, and they did buy his script, but they didn't acknowledge in public that they'd done that.
Wow. The more you know.
Here's another cool coincidence. Not
for Gerry.
Connection. The person that was in charge of some of the I forgot what she did. Makeup.
Okay.
She did a lot of the makeup is Katrina Kubrick. And of course, a lot of people don't know this, that Stanley Kubrick lit the bass scene because they couldn't figure out how to light that sub bass.
Yes, I did know of that.
Yeah, they were trying to light it, couldn't get it, and finally someone said, "Call Kubrick. He knows how to do stuff like this, these big sets." And so they called him, and he came in and lit it for him.
There you go. Told to pull out immediately. Dude. Oh, yeah. And he has great. I feel like this is one of the movies where he has some, like, granted, all these movies he's had, funny on the nose delivery, but this one, she's like, I have nothing to say. He's like, let me try and enlarge your vocabulary out. I feel like this was almost every single line Roger Moore spoke in this movie was pure gold for me. I know Bruce was as enthusiastic about this one, and I do welcome that argument. For me, I thought this was absolute glory. I think he had some of his best dialogue in there. I thought some of the action in this is so good. But dude, look at his eyes, and I like how he takes off, and he's got to serve England, as he tells her. I was like, so does he? Yeah, James, I need you. So does England.
I love the story. I love the story of the stunt that's coming up.
Yeah,
because
the parachute one.
It appeared there was an image that Cubby Broccoli's stepson saw in a Playboy magazine. It was an advertisement for Canadian Club whiskey featuring a skier leaping off Mount Asgard in the Canadian Baffin Mountains. And he showed the image to his stepfather, Cubby Broccoli, the producer, and they tracked down the stuntman, the guy who'd done it. He was a mountaineer and base jumper. And they asked him, can you do it again? And he went, yeah, sure. Well, it was difficult to do for the whole crew. The weather was terrible. And finally, they had the one day. They had 4 cameras, one in a helicopter. Only one cameraman managed to track the skier coming off and then zoom in so when he opens the parachute, you can see it's a Union Jack flag. It was one take, no camera tricks. This is an absolutely legitimate, no wires, not like Tom Cruise, admittedly. There was a lot to be worried about in the stunt that he did in the last movie. But this was literally a guy skiing off a very high cliff in the middle of the Canadian Arctic and throwing a base jumper's parachute that looked like the Union Jack flag. And this was you either do this in one take or you're not doing it. And this is I think this is the greatest stunt of all time in a James Bond movie.
It's incredible. Not just one of the best in the Bond movies, but in movies, period. It's such a incredible scene. Even looking at it again, I remember thinking, wow, is he ever gonna get to Bob? Oh shit, he's gonna die is he gonna freaking fall flat on his ass like a pancake? And then when you have that parachute, it was almost like you feel like okay, he's gonna live to see another day. Because it's a long drop. It's an extensive drop, and it really does feel like, oh crud. I love the suspense of this drop. It really is straight up Keanu Reeves level breathtaking. And Action Con, this song is called Bond 77. I think it's the second or third song on the Spy Who Loved Me album, which is one of my favorite Bond soundtracks. I need a vinyl of this.
Did Marvin Hamlish write this one?
He did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is one of my favorite soundtracks.
We know that you love disco. We know you love disco.
That's the disco one.
Yeah, despite the hairstyle, you're a disco fan. I can tell.
I love the scene. I love the skiing here, but you can definitely tell whenever they zoom in, when they do the matte shot with Moore, he's not the guy. And I'm sorry, I got to take marks off for that.
I also want to compliment the fact that they didn't do green screen, but did rear screen projection for the shots with Moore.
Yeah.
It really started a new trend for Bond movies, though, that they had to have this spectacular opening sequence this. They set a new level.
Yeah, it did.
I'm happy that because as someone who was originally introduced to first the Pierce Brosnan movies, and then I eventually went back. I was like, oh, I can see now we're going back. I can see where they're getting a lot of the stuff from. This was one of those movies that was literally elevating him to new heights.
I remember at the cinema, went to see it at the cinema, and when this bit happened, everybody cheered. It was just
I was going to say that.
Everyone cheered,
this was
literally.
This was like the opening scene of Star Wars when the Star Destroyer becomes visible. The audience went nuts when that parachute
opened.
opened.
Indiana Jones shot the arrow.
Yeah, it's a packed cinema and everyone went nuts when that happened.
See, that's when going to a movie and experiencing the movie in the theater, it almost was almost going to like a rock concert. There was an experience to seeing these scenes on the cinema, on the silver screen. You see this and you're like, dude, that was incredible. There's sequences like this that it hits so differently on a big screen surrounded by a dedicated audience. It doesn't hit the same way as home. It really does not. Even with your nice setup, when you have that audience there and they're all big old Bond fans and they're there for that thrilling experience, it really does hit differently. It really does. And what's up, Bryce of Reason? Nice to see you here, man. I'll have to get you on sometime for Toxic Tuesday. And of course, here comes my song, Nobody Does It Better.
This is Carly Simon, right?
Song.
Yeah. Carly Simon, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Nick, I was going to say, that experience, we got a chance, at least in our generation, we got to get that chance.
Your microphone's on off. You're talking from computer, just so you know. Yes.
Kristen?
No. Mark, take your time, man. We're just happy you did this. He pulled out.
He pulled out.
He pulled out too.
I think his sound is coming from a different source. Yeah, he's got the wrong mic.
You know what I miss with the newer James Bonds more than anything, and I'm talking about anything since '95, is Maurice Binder being gone, because he made some of the best intros.
All right, Dustin.
The best. He's
Valerie Leon, but the beautiful Valerie Leon.
Talk.
Yeah. Is that better?
That's better.
Perfect.
All right,
Oh yeah, now it doesn't sound like you're talking through your webcam. Sounds much better.
Yeah. I was gonna say, our generation, we got that experience a little bit to the mid to late 2000s, where we were doing a lot of the midnight showings of the big movies, like Dark Knight and all that stuff, where things would happen in totally sold out theater. So we did get a little bit of that,
dude. Oh, we did, but I remember I saw The World Is Not Enough. I remember being at that screen for that. I was in 6th grade, and I remember I was just like, we were with one of our friends' parents is for a birthday party. One of the dads took us all to see The World Is Not Enough at theaters. You want to talk about what a good dad that my friend's dad was? He took us all to see a Bond movie for a birthday party. I was just like,
Cool.
hell yeah! We were at a late showing.
That's
for
an
it,
awesome
opening-
dad, right there.
I know. We were at a late
Yeah.
showing opening night. I remember telling my parents at the time, yeah, I'm spending the night at Kevin's place so that way I could go to school with them all in the morning. And really it's just the dad was taking us all to see Bond. I was,
Nice.
yeah,
He wasn't
I was
taking you to see Bond. You were just in the vehicle to go see Bond with him. He wanted to see Bond.
oh, he was, and he paid for us all with it. He brought like 10 kids, like he brought his son and all his son's friends, and it was cool, especially
Pretty
the
good dad.
scene. Oh, I know, especially the scene with the "It's Getting Red." Of course, we're all 6 red laughing and giggling, like, "Ah, that's funny." The "It's Getting Redder" scene, so good. But anyways, another set of delightful opening credits. I love this. And there's some stuff that shows you it's kind of foreshadowing when you watch this movie again. They're like, "Oh, okay, that happens later in the movie," especially when there's a laying down of sorts between a Bond and an Anya per se. And I have an argument in defense of not just toxicity, but for Anya's sake in this movie, because Klabi, our boy Hungry Boy, was saying this movie's not toxic, and I disagree. Because
The minute you see a guy on top of a woman sexually, it's toxic.
Anya used Bond. She drugged him. She does all sorts of things to get
Bloody
her
women.
way. I'm like, you're gonna tell me this movie's not toxic, dude? Anya alone is the toxicity factor. Yeah, sure, you don't got like the blaxploitation stuff, but Anya's the toxic female, and
Mhm.
she did whatever means was necessary
Yeah, it's toxic
to achieve her
The
end.
original Cardi B.
Isn't she the one that Ringo Starr ended up with?
Yes.
Yes.
Barbara Bach. Yep.
Barbara Bach.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah, he nailed her in the movie Caveman and kept her.
Nailed.
I can't complain. That was a great apprehension and seizure. Good job, Ringo.
Well done. Drummers rock.
That's right.
And we gotta
There's nothing
mention-
like a roll on the skins, is there?
This is the first of 2 Bond movies. This one was directed by
General
Louis
Gogol.
Gilbert. Louis Gilbert, who went on also to do Moonraker, even though he was originally supposed to do For Your Eyes Only, but it became Moonraker. So
He
this
was a
is
Bond
back
veteran.
to back. And you have also the one of the reoccurring Bond villains, a certain guy named Jaws.
But this is
Character-
Walter Gotell.
Well, I know, I know
Yeah.
he's not Jaws. I'm just saying saying for.
But he
Alright,
ended up being
sorry,
a good guy by the end.
General Gogol was in
Yeah.
a few of them here.
There's a few recurring people. Valerie Leon's in a small part, and she was in a couple of other Bonds. She's a very beautiful English actress. Was in an episode of Space 1999, which Clobby might know her from. But she's in this in a small part. So there's a few recurring smaller roles, but that obviously Gogol's a bigger role, quite big role.
Yeah.
But just to
Multiple.
let you know, my favorite Louis Gilbert film was the one he did with Michael Caine, educating Rita. Yeah, I love that movie.
Oh, and shout out to Michael Caine, who just retired
George Baker.
recently.
George Baker. that.
Yep.
What a
And he
hell of a
retired
life.
on a great film,
I still haven't watched
playing
this
a
last.
soldier.
Yeah, I have not seen it. I need to.
Well, you have
watch
2 versions of the film that came out. One with another Bond,
Okay.
playing him, that was produced by an Irish studio, same character, same real guy, and then the other one with Michael Caine. It's both the same. They're both playing the same character.
I need to watch it. I need to watch
I have
that
both of
and
them.
Oppenheimer. I'm excited. I get to watch some good movies. I like that.
It's nice to see Bond in his naval uniform there, because he's
Yeah.
a naval commander.
Have you not seen Oppenheimer yet,
Commander
Nick?
Bond.
I have not seen Oppenheimer yet, but I
If you
will.
see it before the weekend, you ought to join Tom and me this weekend.
Ooh, that would be my
Anybody else
bona
who's
fide-
seen it, it's welcome.
That would be my bona fide pleasure. By the way.
Oh God! Thank God you ended that as "fied" instead of
No.
"boner."
If only that dining table was a little longer, it would be perfect. It's a bit too short, I think.
Oh.
Don't do that when I'm drinking, fucker. I just got coffee in my nose. fuck.
You know, Stromberg almost like to me, like when I was rewatching this, I'm like, man, he's almost like movie Thanos, but in the water. And I have to emphasize movie Thanos because he's just a guy who, he doesn't care about the rest of the world, and he wants the world to pay for environmental needs.
Nick, he's a great employer because look at how much fun his employees get. He even builds water slides for them. At work.
Before he blasts them out of existence.
Lasers on their head.
Before he blows them up.
And I like how the guys they kind of took that second guess as they're about to go back into the elevator thing to get out, and Stromberg gives them the illusion that they're gonna have their way out, only to not. And even he had a on the nose line. I think he said they left, they fell at sea or something like that. I was just like, oh, even he gets to have a one-liner at this movie.
Yeah.
Even Stromberg did.
Hey, by the way, did you know this is also parodied another film? World Police movie, Team America.
Oh, yeah.
Kim Jong-un.
Yeah.
Yep.
It really did set a new standard
Hans
for
Bricks.
Bond. It's for me, I mean, the previous two Roger Moore movies had still had elements of the 60s Bond films, a feel of those. This one's completely 70s.
Oh,
it's the first real 70s one. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Even though it's mid-70s, it feels completely different from the others now. Yeah.
I think Diamonds Are Forever was the first thing that started to feel 70s, but it's not. It's nowhere near the best movie.
Yeah, it's nowhere near as good as this film. That film was so thrown together last minute. It just, even Connery hated it.
Yeah.
He didn't hate the check, though.
He loved that.
The only thing he liked about that movie.
Payday.
He loved that check.
Oh, hell yeah. Cubby had finally agreed to pay him what he deserved.
Yes. Yeah, some great gadgetry and sets here. Just lovely. Lovely film.
And there is a nice callback to On Her Majesty's Secret Service when Olga is Anya is reciting his history, and she touches a nerve. Only married once.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
And he reacts after that. So that's a nice callback to George Lazenby's soul movie.
George Lazenby's crying Bond.
Crying Bond.
I'd cry. I'd cry if I'd gotten to marry her and then she died. So
Actually, they didn't let him cry, did they?
Well, I would have cried after marrying her.
Yeah.
There was meant.
Can I persuade you to accept a bed for the night? Well, that's kind of you, but I really think but I can't quite persuade you to stay the night.
Is that
when
guy?
one is in Egypt, one should delve deeply into its treasures.
Is that guy? Is the guy's meeting Shake Your Booty? Isn't that his name? Shake Your Booty.
Yeah, pretty much.
It was Booty. Shake Your Booty.
Shake Your Booty. So there was meant to be a callback to From Russia with Love in it when Bond and Anya meet, but they cut that. So there would have been two Bond movies referenced, but they cut that from the final movie for some reason because he mentioned.
By the way,
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, Brent. I was just going to say the poster you just showed. I'm friends with Thomas Peake, and I'm trying to get him on the show.
Ooh.
His father, Bob Peake, painted that poster.
Bob Peake was great.
Oh my God, what an artist!
Oh, he's giving the smooch.
Bottoms up.
Oh, bottoms up.
Oh, Jane.
God, she looks like Faye Dunaway in that one shot.
She does.
She does actually. Yeah, good catch. Yeah.
My name is Bond. James Bond.
Roger, man, I feel like his one-liners. I feel like also like the way like his fights, like the way he just also like the way he was like being loving with the women. I feel like this really for me, this was the performance where I think this is where he really had it all dialed in. This is where he became full Bond with this.
Well, that's just it, Nick. This is the one film that he did where Bond actually leaked through his performance.
Yes.
And
I think
wasn't
this was
cheap-
definitely
as
his most
cheeky.
Bond one. Yeah, it wasn't as humor, even if his lines were one-liners that were funny, they just happened to be funny. Whereas, he was just trying to be funny in a lot of the movies where it was on the silly. The only sequence that's very, to me, overtly silly in this movie is the one where they're driving the desert and the vehicles beat up. That to me, and even the music around that sequence is very it sounds funny. That's about it. Other than that,
Well, actually, I may have misled Yolanda there. So there is a snippet of Lawrence of Arabia theme, but was it earlier or is it when he goes to the pyramids?
I think it was earlier when he was writing.
It was earlier. Okay, I couldn't remember which bit it was in.
By the way, this is my favorite part of the
chap.
film.
As that guy dropped, what a helpful chap.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love the
that
whole
was-
Egyptian thing here. It was such a cool thing to have them shoot on location.
Go ahead,
Yeah.
Richard.
Yeah, I was actually thinking that's straight out of Lawrence of Arabia, and then I hear the theme song from Lawrence of Arabia, and I went, "Okay, that wasn't accidental."
Yeah, it wasn't.
No.
But did anybody else like
you're on
this
the
scene?
right
This is one of
story.
my favorite scenes. It's
Oh,
also
I
where
love
he
this.
sees
It's a great
Jaws
scene.
do his
Yeah.
shit for the first time.
Now it's
Great
hard
lit-
to,
well
for me
lit.
to it's hard for me to see what my favorite scenes, but I do love this because it feels very epic and it looks epic. And it's probably one of the scenes that looks visually the most epic with the changing of the colors in that area. I love the color in this scene. I
So
love it.
The color grading's good here.
So
Yeah.
Jaws is virtually the only element of the original novel that's still in this movie, although it was a different name in the novel. I think it was called Hammer. The rest of the novel bears no relation to this movie. He's the only thing from the novel that's in this.
Have you guys watched?
With Hammer, did he have
interviews?
teeth or what? What did he have?
I cannot remember now whether he had. I don't know if I think he may have had the teeth, but it's so long since I read it.
Have you watched interviews with Richard Kyle, aka Jaws? The
No.
guy seems like such a normal, regular guy. Then you see this movie, he's one of those guys where, whoa, that's almost like it almost kind of.
Oh, Richard Keel?
Yeah, Richard
Yeah.
Keel. Yeah,
Oh, he was a great person.
yeah.
dude.
He seems like a nice. He seems like such a nice guy. You see this way, he is like, dude, this guy's just straight up eating people like he's a vampire, man.
Yeah.
And I know he apparently it was a really difficult to work scenes with these on. Apparently it was a really tough deal for, but hey, he persevered and he pushed through like a real man does.
And as I recall, isn't it when they did the Hulk movie back in the early 2000s, they had sampled 3 different voices for the Hulk's roar, and one of them was Richard Keel, as I recall.
Really?
Because
I did not know that.
Was it him or was it the other giant actor? I can't remember. Brian, you might remember.
Well, David Cass. You mean not David Cass?
Because I know, like Lou Ferrigno had part of the voice. They used another voice, and then there were 2 other actors that were included with the way he roared and grunted. And as I recall, Richard Keel was one of them.
Right.
I did not know that. That's definitely
Could be.
file that under. I learned something new today. And our boy, I was gonna say Claw, but yeah, he straight up butt him. And this is a great introduction, proper introduction for Anya, because she uses Bond's line on him about about the drink.
Oh,
about
it's
how
very
she-
feminist. It's very feminist what they did, in a good way.
Yeah, well, that was kicking at the time in 1976,
Yeah, it was.
and they were doing production for it.
This is back when they did real feminism, not that stuff they do
Right.
today.
I thought it was a good, effective intro because it shows you, okay, right away off the bat, she did her homework. She knows what this is about, and I was like, oh, okay. So she is Triple X now, unlike her husband. Now she took on the name per se, and she's out for blood. She's really out for blood. She just doesn't know who yet, and that's a hell of a and that's why I was like, oh, that's again. Now it's one of the movies called The Spy Who Loved Me. Oh, I get it now. Yeah, love this scene. Absolutely love it, and the music, especially when Jaws goes into the room with Mr. Fakish. The music gets really heavy and intense with the tribal music. Dude, I love the intensity of that scene because even though it's supposed to be like very party and outgoing and optimistic, there's an intensity underlying that optimistic party music because
Very dark.
the viewer knows what's going on, even though people are just there kind of celebrating, being in a bar, being classy. I was like, oh, that's actually really cool. The fact that they're at this area of like what's supposed to be a fun time, there's something really dark, and the fact that it's played so heavily to make it feel like, oh man, that's crazy. And then you see Jaws is dude. Then you see the aggressive headbang, dude, a straight up corpse grinder with that headbanging.
Hey, Mark, are you here?
He's
the guy that he's killing there. I
busy.
swear to God, looks like Irving Kershner from The Empire Strikes Back.
You never know.
The guy with the goatee.
Yeah.
But hey, did you guys know? Because I just found out before I did Force 10 from Navarone with Barbara Bach that she was up for one of the girls in Charlie's Angels.
Yep.
And didn't get there he was, the guy dead on the floor. That's Irving Kershner. No, it's
and
not.
I like how he put the sign on Feckish after he died out of order.
Out of order.
Yes.
But she didn't get the role on Charlie's Angels because she was not just too beautiful, but too classy looking.
Yeah.
They were in a
Or
strumpet.
Barbara Bach. That would have made her career.
Yep.
Really, her career went nowhere after that. It's
She was married to a Beatle. She didn't care.
married to
They
Ringo
shouldn't care.
Starr, mother to Ringo Starr's nutsack progeny. I mean, she's doing pretty good.
Are you trying to say she was a nut catcher? She caught a lot of nuts.
and after they got married and got together, they were together maybe less than a year, and John Lennon died, and they had to rush over to help out Yoko. So they decided,
I thought you were going to say clean up the mess.
Clean
they
up
decided early. God, I wish they would have just put Yoko in the dumpster. Anyway, they decided pretty early to start with the family thing because they couldn't get enough of each other. So Barbara Bach had her, as much as I wanted to see more of her, she had her priorities at the forefront.
Well, she's old world, old European style way of thinking, which is always family oriented, and you got to respect that.
I mean, look at those hogs; they look beautiful. Put them to use.
I like how the vehicle just says telephone service. Doesn't have a company, just says telephone service.
It should say Acme, shouldn't it? Really?
Yeah, it's Acme or remember back in the 80s with generic beer?
Generic beer. They still have that in South Korea. There's a brand that says beer, and you see it in all the K-dramas.
Oh, I keep forgetting, and I bring it up all the time. Your addiction to Korean TV and movies.
Oh, I spot all that stuff. Yeah.
And this, I love this scene. The fact that freaking Jaws straight up was baiting these two into basically a trap to try to get them. I was like, damn, dude. Not only is he just strong, but he knows how to play the game.
Oh, he's a clever villain.
Yeah, I love him.
Yep.
That's why I kind of hated him being made a good guy in the sci-fi
Moonraker.
Well, he was acting in his own
Moonraker.
interest. I don't know about how good he was, but yeah.
Well, he fell in love with a good girl.
Oh yeah.
So she cleaned up his act.
Yeah. I mean, he was the indestructible villain. I mean, he was like Jake and Elwood in the Blues Brothers. A building falls on him, and he climbs out of the rubble and goes
He
away.
was kind of Wile E. Coyote in that one.
And dusts himself off.
Yeah, dusts himself off and walks away, just like those two. But yeah, I thought, no, they should have kept him as a villain. I agree with you.
Well, I pissed him off once in real life.
No.
Richard Keel, I shouldn't tell
Richard
it. Sorry, it's
Keel?
too embarrassing.
No.
No, you can't
Accident.
open up with that
I
and
did.
then not tell it.
Well, okay, I wasn't gonna, but since you're forcing me.
And making you do it. Okay.
Dragon Con 2005, I think. I went to so many of those that they blur together, but this we were at the Sheraton where you register for on the first day, like the Thursday of the thing. It was really hot outside, and we were just leaving the place, and up pulls Mr. Keel in one of those little go-kart thingies because he was not in the best of shape, but he was by himself, and he asked me how to get to the the hotel, I think the Hyatt or I mean the Marriott, and I was just turning around. I was confused. I was hot, and I think I accidentally told him to go down that way, down like I said. I thought I was giving him the right direction, just wasn't thinking. And then when he drives off, my friend, I think you told him the wrong way. I said, oh shit. He gets all the way down the hill. And then he asked somebody again, and they said, no, it's back that way. And he has to come all the way back up the hill. And I'm like, oh. And they said, you know what? His jaws is going to kill you.
So he ripped your head off with
He
these
was not happy. You can see the look on his face. Oops. Sorry.
Shit happens.
But it was an accident. I mean, it was all confused.
Yeah, no, it wasn't intentional. It just
No.
it happened.
I have every respect for Jaws. You think it would mess with Jaws? No.
Oh,
A joke on Jaws. Even in that little go-kart thingy.
Dude,
Yep.
there's
I just looked it up, Brian.
Oh,
yeah.
good.
And they don't give the name here for all the characters in the books. They give his actual name in the book, which is Zbigniew Kraswicki.
Wow.
In the book, the spy who loved me. They don't give his nickname.
Well, it is horror though. It's horror. Somebody in the chat said horror. Slugsy and horror were the two villains and thugs in the book. Yeah, and horror is. Yeah. I don't think he had the teeth though. I think that's a movie affectation.
I don't think he did.
Movie thingy.
No, but it said that he was later given a bigger backstory. And
okay.
So I guess
I think this is probably the movie that created the complete departure from the books.
Yeah.
Because James Bond is only in this book in the last 25, 50 pages at most. Yeah. The story develops without him.
Yeah. Some woman
it's two guys and a woman in a motel in upstate New York, and she's been kidnapped by them. And James Bond just rolls in unaware of the situation and saves her.
And by the way, this scene does it again too, Clobby. With the
shaken but not stirred. And look at his face. He's like, really? She just tried using my lines against me?
Yes.
Oh,
she's taking all my best lines.
She's a toxic female. She used his lines. She knew his drink. She once again, she basically drugged him. Like, you can't tell me she's not toxic. There's a few great lines. He made fun of her for being a female driver, and then there's something about like he was referencing how God was about the noise in the car because it's stick shift. He was referencing her trying to get the car running, which is hilarious. And actually, come point here, the British government hired Jaws. They can save fortune and equip. See, I disagree. I get why you say that because in theory that sounds good, but in reality, look at what he did to that one car, and then look at the place he crushed too. That place that Egyptian house, they even bonded to make a combat. He took a swing and a miss, and he brought the house down. And Bond was just like, "Oh, of course, Egyptian houses, of course." And that was hilarious. And this is that scene I was talking about. This is the overtly funny scene here, or funny-ish, where it's comical. Go ahead.
You mentioned, Nick, when you mentioned when she was trying to get the van in gear, and she's grinding the gears.
Yeah,
and he goes, Steve, can you play any other songs?
Go ahead, Richard. Oh, that's what you have any other songs?
Can you play any other songs? And then he says, might want to try reverse. That goes backwards.
Oh, dude.
By the way, a little trivia. A lot of people don't know that it's rumored that the reason why he preferred to have his martini shaken, not stirred, is because of the ice melting into it more quickly. So therefore, you got drunk slower. So you're less likely to get drunk on a shaken martini than
I just always think about that line in the great show, the underrated show, Sledgehammer, when he said stirred, not shaken like that English wuss.
So a recommendation to everybody is do that with all your drinks, like cans of beer. Do it with all of them.
Shaken, not stirred. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, shaken.
The beer hunter. The beer hunter.
And always aim the can at your buddy after you do it.
The beer hunter.
Chernobyl, who's been a member for 2 months. What's up, dude? Says, love to see El Panel do a review on Sidekicks with Chuck Norris. For the next Chuck Norris month, we will. I strongly, endorse doing that movie. So I give it, hopefully next year, sometime next year, we'll do that. I'm really hoping so. All right, man. Thank you for
I haven't seen that
member
movie since
chat.
it came out. That was 90s, right?
Mm.
And thanks for being a member, by the way.
Was
I
that
do
Ki Hai
appreciate it.
Kwan? Isn't that in Ki Hai Kwan?
I'm looking
Is
it
that
up right
that
now.
movie?
1992. I was in the Army. I didn't see it
92.
till it was on
Right.
video later.
Yeah. All right. This is
'Cause
once again.
I was deployed at the time.
Well, and while you were being deployed, Anya here's being a toxic female, talking about how they need the body warmth, and he tries going reach it for her leg, and she's like, "You would take it, little lady." And the thought never crossed my mind. I was like, "Really, bud? Come on!" And then she fucking drugs his ass, leaves him hanging. I was like, "Bro, she's kind of a badass."
Bro.
I gotta give her credit, man.
She's very well written.
She used his own type of
She
games and
roofied him.
tactics. She used his own game and tactics against him, and he wakes up and also he's surrounded by Egyptians over in Cairo. I do love the geography of Egypt, by the way. This movie, I feel like that definitely does bear mention. I can't believe we've gone this long without even mentioning it, because the geography of this movie is absolutely stunning. And then nothing.
Well, and it's
No.
also great to see that juxtaposition of him in the dinner or evening jacket and all that against
Yes.
that scenery. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
and obviously a fish out of water, because he's got his bow tie untied, his jacket's over his shoulder. He's not at the ball. He's not
Good
at the
God.
he's not at the party anymore.
Nope.
Good God, James, do that tie up.
His team has to work with another team, so that's what makes this also like a bigger thing, because it's like, okay, now they have to work with people, they have to coexist in the mission, and he tries to make some fun out of the mission, because of course he's going to try to make some fun of it. And this is also another thing that becomes a trope coming up: the train sequence. That becomes a big trope, is the fight on the train where the bad guy pops up on the train.
love that train scene. It's
I
one
do
of my
too.
favorite action sequences.
It's a
love
great
it.
trope. Don't get me wrong. I think it's a
Now,
trope that
who
works.
complimented the photography? Was that you, Nick?
The geography.
But
Okay,
yeah, the
so-
cinematography, the geography.
Claude Renault is
Well, I mean-
is the DP on this, and that is Jean Renault's uncle, I think. He's related to the French actor Jean Renault, but that dude is classic. Like Cleopatra, he was the DP on that. This guy knew photography.
So he knows Egyptian
DP,
babes
isn't it?
pretty well then.
I'd say, Nick, by the time of this movie, given that we had From Russia with Love had a fight on a train with Robert Shaw's assassin.
Yeah.
And then you had Teehee with the mechanical arm on a train, and his arm winds up locked to the window, and he goes out, and she says, "What are you doing, James?" This is just being disarming, darling. This is already a trope. James Bond having a fight on a sleeper compartment on a train. It's the third time they've done it in the 10 movies.
You're right, but Live and Let Die, you have it happen, and then this was like, okay, now I see there's a thing going on here where it's all about. And no, I'm glad it is a trope, because it's fun, and it's like vehicles are always moving, and you never know what can happen, especially when everything's going fast. It's perfect, and you know, obviously Bond catches the logo here for Stromberg's company. I can't remember what it was. Company right there. I was just like, look at you investigating. Yeah, and they realized, okay, even though those two are on opposite sides, they've worked very well together. They both are very smart and well trained at their craft. It's kind of cool, and I feel like, if you're once again have a female be in a lead and not just more than a Bond girl, this is one of the smarter ways of making it happen. Having this scene set up where she's working with them, but she doesn't know who she's working with. Well played.
And I love the fact that, every time she says something, he corrects her, and then he says, "It's in Sardinia, I believe. Actually, it's in Corsica, or it is in Corsica, I believe. Actually, it's in Sardinia." So they're trying to one up each other in front of their bosses.
Oh, it's great. It's hilarious. And you can tell their bosses have fun because they know, oh, this is gonna be fun pairing these two together. This could go actually really good. No, and they do. I felt like they I felt like they actually had really good chemistry together. It really did make me feel like there was like a little, it was like a, you know, there's something in the air with the two. Like we should be doing this, but what?
In the late 70s, I don't think it would have been hard to have good chemistry with Barbara Bach.
Oh my God, no! The camera. First of all, the camera loves her. It just loves her. Every single shot of her, she's gorgeous. But you brought up From Russia with Love with the Train, and I wanted to point out that Don Ecker and I were just talking recently, and we agreed that the character, what's his name, Red Grant, played by Robert Shaw, is the best villain in James Bond.
Oh, he's great. He's one of the
I agree.
Absolutely.
I agree. He's
a heavyweight
fantastic.
actor.
He is so dangerous
And
lethal, and I love his character.
Well, I love pretty much everything Robert Shaw's ever played. You know,
but I thought you loved Lamp, Redshirt.
I love Lamp.
I love Lamp.
He loves Lamp.
I love Lamp.
But
Shaw was just really good in that, and I think a lot of Bond fans agree. Man, you just can't get better than Robert Shaw. They try here though. Jaws is pretty badass.
I was gonna say, I mean, I would say Jaws is the best, but he's damn good. He's really good.
It's like a grown man beating a child in this scene.
Yes.
And the child has to resort to childlike measures to beat him. That's what the fact he relies on the lamp thingy to look cute.
Look at the diversity. Jaws comes out of the closet. He comes out of the closet.
That's right.
So again, they were ahead of their time. Diversity.
Yeah, early DIE. Yeah,
the early DEI.
I need a drink after that comment.
You know that DEI. You know what DEI stands for? Dickless elitist idiocracy.
I like that.
Oh, that's great. And I like as he literally kicks him off, and then he just dropped in for a quick bite. One of the best lines.
That's right.
After he just.
I know that I still have a big, very soft spot for Adolfo Silly as Emilio Largo.
Largo's a good character. No, they're great villains. A lot of them.
He loves
I gotta
Lamp.
tell you,
He
Robert
does love
Shaw
Lamp.
shines brighter than all.
Shaw's great. Yeah.
Guys, if you understand this D-Bud line, it's one of those if you know, you know. Was Tom Cruise in there with him?
Well, no, he was working at the factory at the time, the fudge packing factory.
Oh, yeah.
But you're working in the factory. You can't say that, my lawyers. But you're here in the factory.
I am not a fudge packer, as he was literally packing.
Oh,
God. Damn it.
Keel fucking just Jaws steals this movie completely away from any other male character in it. He really does. When he's on screen, you can't help but watch. He's just enjoying himself. He's toying with people, it looks like.
Especially as the main supervillain, we've only seen him once. You know, haven't we seen Stromberg once?
He's like the Bond villain of like Roger Moore. He's so white and pastiche. Just for me, it's boring.
He's barely in it. He's barely in the movie. Really.
Yeah, he isn't in the movie at all.
Well, he's a less is more type of character. You bring him in for the scenes where he's about to cause havoc and destruction. Yet to Bond once again resort to childlike kind of smart measures to be in because you're desperate. You're kind of like a quarter animal. You resort to any measures.
Wait a minute, Nick. Are you trying to say that he was Roger Moore's lesser brother? Lesser Moore? Oh, here's the Lotus, man. I love this car.
Yes.
They got the Corgi. Did anybody else get it?
I got
Corgi put this out.
Yes, yes.
I remember that.
Had it at the time.
And this is
I
what-
will say.
Yes, they did.
I will say this. This is
Go
the
ahead.
one time they gave James Bond a non-Aston Martin, and it worked.
Yes.
True.
This is
No.
this is a great Bond car.
Very true.
Q, have I ever let you down?
Pay attention.
Frequently.
Frequently.
And he
Yes.
tries
Do pay
right
attention, James.
off.
Major Boothroyd.
Oh, dude.
Mm.
I
I like that
love
she
this.
calls him Major Boothroyd. They never do that much. Q meaning
Yes.
Q, yeah.
It's a good catch. Yeah.
Great car.
Well, yeah, they talked about one thing that is a callback to the books. M gets referred to as Miles, I think, and his
right.
actual name was Sir
Sorry.
Miles Messervy, which
Sorry,
is why
Richard.
he was M.
Valerie Leon. She's a beautiful
Oh my,
lady
oh
in a ton of great films, like the Carry On movies and Hammer. She's been in tons of great stuff. Persuaders, Space 1999. She's a very great actress.
Yeah,
Still
you need to
around
do
as well.
something about Persuaders because a lot of people don't remember that.
That's a good show there. I've been
Well,
enjoying
Clobby
it.
loves it. Yeah.
Been watching
Yeah.
it recently. Yeah, again, and it's great.
Sorry.
In fact, he left that.
Oh,
to do
those
this role,
Scottish
right?
farts? What was that?
That's the theme music from the Persuaders.
Oh, I thought you were farting. Okay. Oopsie.
Ah,
Sorry, guys.
Jane.
My wife helps me with this. Yes.
She's another.
Sorry, you
breeder.
were saying something? No, just like
Caroline Monroe. If you like her
Yeah.
in this, she's also in The World Beneath, I believe, with. Oh yeah, damn it! Let me pull up IMDb.
She was one of the early queens of B movies.
Yes.
gorgeous. Lots of gorgeous girls in this one.
Love Carol. This was such a waste of Carolyn Monroe, though.
Mm.
It really
Yeah, to
was.
cry.
That looks like the villain headquarters from the anti-Justice League group. I forget their names.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
Dracula.
the-
Yeah.
Legion
that's
of
Legion of
Doom.
Yeah, Legion of Doom.
Well,
She's in a
in-
lot of horrors,
In Super
Carolyn
Friends, it was
Monroe.
called that anyway.
She's in a lot of Hammer movies, Carolyn Monroe, where she was exceptionally
Guys,
She
sexy.
was in The Golden Voyage of Sinbad.
I don't
Oh God, I love that movie.
Yeah,
Love it.
I don't ever drink on
Car
Toxic
crash.
Tuesday, but now for tonight I will. Rare night tonight.
and she's also
Where-
at Earth's core.
Yep.
All right.
Captain
Star
Kronos,
Crash.
Vampire Hunter, great movie.
Oh my God, yeah, that was great.
I wonder if you'd show my wife
Oh,
around.
Star Crash! I'd forgotten about Star Crash.
Yeah, legendary
Dude,
Star
come
Trek.
on, the Italian Star
Star
Wars.
Wars.
I know I'd
Yeah,
forgotten
great
about
movie.
it.
Christopher
Not a
Plummer.
good movie, but it's fun to watch.
Marjo Gortner. Good lord.
Yeah, Marjo is Luke Skywalker, Han
Marjo's
Solo
in this
rolled
movie.
into one.
Any movie with
Dude.
Marjo is just disturbing. You know?
Yeah, he was a
Mr. Zenon,
ridiculous
I'm so
person.
glad. I'm so glad you mentioned this. The Persuade, dude, it's so moving. It's epic.
Wish we could play. Wish we
Got
could
a
play the
little
whole
layer of
thing.
mystery. Yeah, we might. I was talking with
Can't.
my buddy, the Common Nerd, and he was talking about. He's like, "Oh man, you got to really consider Rumble." And I was thinking, maybe within a few months, I'll think about. I mean, I want to see where the chat is at with it. Maybe within a few months, maybe try to do it the first hour Toxic Tuesday on here, and that way do the second and third hour on Rumble. That way we can actually play some clips and some music from movies. At least, you
Yeah.
know, that's more than 5 seconds. It doesn't even need to be like a minute, but just like 20 seconds, I feel like would
Yeah.
be helpful. Chat, chat, I need you to level at me. I want you to be very honest. Would you be down for like a second or third hour type of thing on Rumble so we can go over bits and pieces? I think that would be a good enhancement for a show. That way it could really mix up the formula and migrate people over. Okay,
And
see, Yolanda Gaines says yes. Of course, Bruce says yes, but I
Dude,
really want
it's
to see.
instant monetization.
Yeah, it is. It's I want to see where are they willing to migrate. That's what I want to see. If the people are willing to migrate over just to get the clips and the music, I will have no problem considering a sooner transition.
It would be good. Yeah.
Yeah.
To play
Now, I
some
do want to
actual
point out
clips.
they just showed the miniature of his facility,
Yes,
and consider
There's
that
a
a
hand.
visual. It's a visual version of saying the name of the movie in the movie,
uh-huh.
of showing the miniature they're in the movie.
Mm,
Yeah.
Sorry, I was still looking at Caroline Munro's boobs.
I know you had
didn't
two
hear
of
you.
those beautiful women at the time in one shot.
What did you say?
Yes, what, Gary? What?
That's truly the worst kill James Bond ever made. The worst.
There's some scenes where Stromberg's hands almost look like a fish's hand, almost like he's the penguin. There's certain scenes I'm like, hold on, he's not a fish animal, is he? Because there's certain instances where his hands
Has he got webs?
they're
He's got
like
webbed
say
fingers.
fishy. Oh, guys, look, it's Handy Randy.
Two women on screen, gross.
Of course, Handy Randy's not happy with that. Well, Handy, unfortunately, even you can be wrong about this. I apologize, but you know what? We like our Handies here, and it seems like it's making the men here Randy for the two ladies on the screen. And Bruce has something he wants to pull out.
I just want to whip this out. This is a still of Caroline Munro from Star Crash. And
hubba.
She's covering him up, but my God.
Oh, Jane.
You know, she still does cons, by the way, and obviously she's much older, but I hear she's everyone I know that's met her says she's a delightful woman, very
with
cool.
us.
Oh, nice. That's cool.
Oh, she's really enthusiastic with her fans and really sweet. Yeah, so that's very nice.
And you know that age doesn't matter as long as it still feels the same.
I was just concerned with what a nice person she was.
Gary's rude.
I'm a filthy bastard, so I'm going to go there.
Yes.
That's what Gary's grinder page says.
You're appreciating my private affairs.
Oh, damn it.
Oh, jeez.
Hey, Steve Mitchum. Release the Kraken. Welcome, dudes. Nice to see you both here.
What's up, buddy?
Long time no see to both you fine gents. Apparently, Handy Randy's owed $5 from Maddie. You're never gonna get it, by the way. Just saying. You ain't.
Yeah, you should never have made eye contact with him. That was the problem.
As he always says, I'd rather owe you all my life than cheat you out of it.
Oh, damn. Oh.
God, that
that's good.
Car. Isn't that a pretty car?
I want to own that. I want to own that vehicle. I remember when I was thinking, oh man, this thing's going to take a crash course. And then all of a sudden the surprise happened. And then I'm like, oh, that's why Bond and Q were whispering when he first discovered his vehicle, because he was telling him it could go underwater.
Yep.
At least that was what I got of it.
Yeah, that is what it is. Yeah.
Okay.
By the way, if you guys never noticed, there's a lot of Ford in these James Bond films. And the reason why is they were a minor shareholder for years. And then in like 87, I think, or 88, they became 75% shareholder, and they basically have owned.
Yeah, but in Live and Let Die, it was mostly Chevy. It was Chevys and GMs.
Chevy GMs in Live and Let Die.
Yes.
But after that, you saw a lot of Ford, and it's because of the partial ownership that Ford had. And now today, to this day, they still own
one Ford in Live and Let Die,
guys,
which was the Econoline van.
Yeah.
Was it? I didn't think there were any in that one.
There was one Ford.
Okay.
Live and Let.
I got to go back and look for it because all I saw was, like he said, Chevys and
Caddies and GMs.
Imagine doing work at home and all of a sudden not only a vehicle comes crashing down on your home, but then Jaws just walks out like to what?
I don't know which part to be more freaked out about.
Yeah, right. I know you're right. That's a good point, Gary. Like, which do you get more freaked out about? Because
oh shit! Oh fuck! It's Jaws.
One can wreck your place, maybe long term, but the other could also wreck you. Well, long term, if not permanently, too. It's kind of a lose-lose. If you
that's where you sacrifice Clobby and you put Clobby in there. Sir, you need to go this direction, and he gives them the wrong way.
Hey, what about if Jaws' thing was to bite off guys' wieners? How horrifying you would have been then.
Worst villain in history.
Worst villain in history.
Most horrifying villain in history.
It's like, what are you gonna do with those teeth? Fuck no.
What they call him, Nas?
Nas.
Let's get to the real reason why this badass chase sequence went as long as it did. They want us to admire the geography more. They would like, oh, hold on, we gotta show off more great territory, and it's a good reason to keep the action going because it makes it look.
If you're gonna pay to shoot you do location shooting like that. Yeah, it makes sense. You want to show it off.
You want to, be show off.
They fulfilled their quota with the location shoots in this movie. I think. I mean, I'm not trying to be a killjoy, but this scene for me goes on about 2 minutes too far. But
I disagree. I love a long action. Chase sequence. I love when they go on extensively, and for me, it's all about the thrill, and I want to feel like I'm at the edge of my seat, and I feel like this really brought me to the peak, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh crap, they're fucking sinking, and then of course this is where it happens, dude. I freaking, even as a teenager, watching a movie from the 70s, I was like, dude, hell yeah, man. It was the coolest thing to see this vehicle turn into this. It was so cool to see this as a teenager. I was like,
by the way, Brian, who was the stunt coordinator for the car chase scenes? Because he did all of them for years.
I don't know, mate.
The stunt coordinator and the director of photography did a really good job of that chase.
I don't know who that was.
Oh, without a doubt. But some of the early chase scenes in James Bond were some of the best, especially during the Roger Moore era. And they had one stunt coordinator that did all of them. And he came up with some of the best chase scenes.
Yeah, I don't know. Can't remember.
It is a triumph. That's the thing. This sequence for me, it is a triumph.
Uninvited
guest. Dude. And that Naomi went up into smoke. After that, I was just like, okay, well, I guess she took a crash. It happens, man. Dude, that thing looks cool underwater. I was like, I want to own one. Come on.
Yeah,
when you got the Corgi car, you could change it out and make it look like the sub, or you can just have the tires on it. It was great. I love Corgi for doing that.
That was a really reliable toy brand.
Dude, they had everything. They had the Aston Martin Batmobile, the Bat boat, the Bat cycle, Bat helicopter. They had just a ton of cool ass toys.
All right, I want to mention another thing about the music about The Spy Who Loved Me. This is one of the only few Bond movies where there was a Academy Award nomination, even though I really don't give a rat's ass generally about those types of things. It's just good to know that someone actually picked a good one is what I'm trying to get. I'm just giving credit where it's due in that regard. So this was one of the few where they actually happened. And to be fair, in a more just world, it would have happened more than just 3. But a lot of these people get it wrong on, and not just Bond movies, but movies in general. But at least this one got it. For me, it makes me happy because you had the music, you had the killer opening credits, you had a toxic Bond girl, you had the great music to this. It's like, I'm glad this happened. For me, this movie is astronomy. This movie, the stars were aligning for this one. I love the ship and the badass supervillain layer. It's a stereotypical supervillain layer as it gets, and I love it. I want my villain to be bad. I want him to have the layer. I want him to have his one-liners. I want him to be a heartless son of a bitch.
See, I think it really springs into feminism really hard.
I found it, Brian. Bob Simmons.
Bob Simmons, I just found it
Bob
as well.
Simmons
He did
it all the way through till 1985.
Yeah, he did. It's quite a few of them. Yeah, he was
there from Dr. No
Ranger
all the way to this View to a Kill.
Yeah, so he
died 2 years later.
He'd done a few previous ones, so he was part of the team, I guess. Yeah.
Yep.
I think this movie really goes into like second wave feminism very hard. It's a good film for what its time, especially, but with the way they wrote Omarosa, for crying out loud, like she makes Bond like the sidekick in this movie. There's a lot of parts in this film where she kind of tries to belittle him, and she almost takes his nuts. She really does, in my opinion. It's not a bad move, because I think a well-written spy that's going to use her sex as a weapon that's going to win with her sex as a weapon. I think she's probably one of the best Bond girls written in the history of Bond. But I think this movie really goes into second wave feminism very hard into the paint. And Roger Moore, I mean, for me, he's just not a strong actor. I know that sounds bad for some people, but I think he almost is a sidekick in this movie, much like Kurt Russell is a sidekick in my favorite movie
Big
of all time,
Trouble in Little
Big Trouble
China.
in Little
Yeah. I am curious, though. Did you say taint or paint?
Either. Yes. Yes, sir.
I would offer an alternative. This is very much the Cold War era, and to even suggest that a British spy and a Russian spy, Soviet spy, would be working together, there would be a constant game of one-upmanship.
Mm-hmm.
That would be required because they're not allowed to actually like each other.
No,
in fact, did they made her Russian and didn't call her Smirch?
Right.
Right?
But he did smirch her. He smirched her hard. He smirched
her. Because up to that point, they were afraid to say Soviet. They always referred to him as Smirch.
Her. He damn saved her life with freaking Jaws. If that, she would have been toasted, or in this case, eaten
a couple times.
If anything,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think still, I agree with him.
I
though,
don't.
There
agree.
was
I don't
feminism in this in a good way.
I don't feel like she was. I feel like to me they were on equal footing. I feel like they were constantly one-upping each other.
He saved her.
And,
He
yeah,
saved
a
her multiple
lot.
times.
A lot.
Oh, he saved her the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know about the equal footing. I think he got on top of her a couple of times.
Yeah.
He made him
I
work.
would agree with that.
And to go one step further than what Brian said there, I look forward to a day when we see a shot where we pull in and we see Bond with a girl, but she's facing the other way. That will be awesome.
And, dude, this is one of the best scenes. On one thing, I know I've been saying
It's
this
the dog's
because
ass. That's why
I'm
you like
extra enthusiastic about this one. But the fact that he pulls up from the water like it's no big deal, and they're all just like, "Did I just see a fucking car come up from the water?" And there's people in the drive. Hey,
And he throws the fish out. Oh my god!
And he tosses the fish out.
That fish is what kills it for me. It's too cutesy.
Yeah,
I still want my Sean Connery Bond.
It's the humor. I agree with you. It's a little cheeky.
Okay,
It's
that's
fun.
a fair
It was
argument.
fun.
Here's why I excuse it. I don't feel like this movie has as much silly as the
Hello,
other
Valerie.
Bonds.
Hello, Valerie.
I feel like it was more moderate. So I can't at least forgive it. But I
Two of my
can
fa-
understand your argument on that, Bruce.
Sorry, there was two of my favorite characters in that scene, and neither of them was Roger or Valerie. But Valerie. Yes, I heard you had a motorboat, Mr. Bond. How about your motorboat? Heard you had a great motorboat.
Yes, a motorboater to scratch off the secret message between her in the valley.
Yeah.
This has been a really good Toxic Tuesday episode. It really has.
It's funny.
Oh yeah, I'm glad I
Gerry,
got to come back to see this.
You have been missed, sir. It really feels like the puzzle is.
But you know, I love you guys, and it pained me not to be here. But I'm in a house
Go get your
with
coffee.
other people, and
Go
finally,
get your coffee. And
no, I've
slide
got to give up
back
some
in.
coffee. I got to
Oh,
give
you
it
gotta
up
give it up.
because I'm done with it.
Oh.
It's got to go.
Okay.
This is
I'll
when
be
she
right
finds out about the death of her fiance.
Oh, dude. And this is, I thought this was a great scene from Anya because she's like, when this mission's done, I'm going to fucking kill you. I was like, I actually feel a little bit of a chill from her from that one.
Well, this is where Bond says, "Oh yes, I remember. I fucked him up, real bad."
And that's the part that I thought was, see, and that's
I'm
another
sorry.
part where I feel like was a great part for Bond. It really showed him like, hey, you know what? I had a job. It was part of the mission, and things happened quickly. I did what I had to do.
He was trying to put a bullet in your back. You don't really worry about him.
If it was Sean
That's right.
Connery's Bond, he would have said, "My only regret he wasn't still around to know I'd porked his girlfriend."
Yeah.
Wow.
How toxic would that be?
I know.
Yeah.
So so now 70s, you brought up a good point. Bond had his sliver of toxicity in this movie because he bonged the dead guy's girlfriend.
He did. I mean, that's pretty Bondish if you think about it.
He
You kill a
know.
guy and then bonk his girl.
It's
Friend.
straight up on brand. Straight up
On
on
brand,
brand.
yes.
for him.
Completely
Yeah,
on brand.
that's what that is. No, they both rocked uniforms. Once again, this I feel like if anything, for me, I feel like this shows you how much more they're on. Dude, it's Mark.
Hey guys,
Mm.
I got a special visitor.
Mark. Got a cat. Let's show off the cat. Let's show.
Are you
off the cat.
Yeah, I
Blofeld?
got-
Are you Blofeld?
I'm Blofeld. It's my daughter came back to visit, so this is Blofeld.
And Mr.
Blofeld's
Bowman?
cat. Yeah. This is Mochi. So hey,
Yes.
say hi, Mochi.
It's good
There
to
we
see you,
go.
Mr. Bowman.
Cat.
Cat.
Oh, look at the kitty.
Oh,
Mark,
there
thank you
Come
for
down, Mr.
your
Bond.
work tonight.
You and-
By the way, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
We
you're
do
welcome.
we do appreciate it. It's been a fun one, and your slideshow is perfect. And we have
It's been
Backdoor
good.
Gerry here, and we have Klobby here. This has just been the perfect storm of greatness.
Yeah,
tonight.
missing Gary.
Mm.
Yeah. So yeah. Awesome. Yeah. So this, I know what you guys have been talking about. Oh, this is cool. I got the cat climbing over my
Anya
shoulder.
looks like she knows how
feel
to
like
handle a
Blofeld.
torpedo.
This is the coolest. This is the coolest car in the world, right? I mean,
It is the coolest
I mean-
cat in the world.
coolest cat. Don't jump onto my action figures. But yeah, I don't know what you guys have been talking about. So I apologize. Was it a political?
No, you're good, man.
No, we were just killing
Political
time until you
meeting.
got here.
Chilling
I haven't said
time I got here.
anything.
Yeah. But
This
we're
show's
at a,
miserable without you. We didn't know what to say. It was a lot of long, awkward, pauses. We even went like.
It
3 or
didn't get
4 minutes.
homoerotic at all.
Oh, we
Still can.
done that.
We
Way
don't
beyond
know
that.
how, but we can be educated.
We came out of the closet, or somebody
You have the
did.
biggest dick I've ever seen on a man. Come, Mr. Bond. You enjoy the scallop just as much as I do. Please, eat.
There's
Is
something
Stromberg-
very, very
is
feminine
Stromberg-
about that oil tanker.
Yeah, he was letting you know he was opening season. That's why he had a wide gaping hole to let that ship in. He's letting you know he's available. That was my homoerotic conspiracy take for that. He's just like, come in here. This is where you come. I'm very loose and big, but look at my gap. And Bond parks his ship in there.
I wonder
And
how
they-
much of the sub could fit in there. Oh, I guess all of it. That's great.
Mhm.
Even then, there's still a lot of room for him to wiggle around. So it's just like it.
I
feel
don't
like
want to
he-
say she's loose, but I had to turn her sideways to feel anything.
Yeah, but see, when you're that loose, it doesn't matter if you're in because, well, when the space is too big, it doesn't matter how deep you are.
Nick, have you done a review on the movie The Boondock Saints yet?
We have not.
Okay.
Well, I will be here for that one. That's one of my favorite films to talk about, dude.
There
Yeah.
was a firefight.
Anybody remember the
No.
rule of thumb
What?
from that
Are you
movie?
sure?
Yeah, Dot had a fucking fit about the rule of thumb in that movie.
He says, I guess you should have called it the rule of wrist.
They beat the hell out of that feminist.
That's a toxic movie, my friend.
Great movie.
Oh
See,
boy,
radioactive
is it!
gets it. That tanker did let in long black heart thing full of semen. Radioactive.
Oh, look, it's Mark C with the big D.
Yeah, I'm hiding now, so you can see the cat.
Yeah, I can see your big D, though. I can see it from here.
It's tough to hide. Yeah, I'm a little big. Yeah.
See, we took a ship and we made it homoerotic.
Oh,
Look,
what did I start? Yeah.
oh, dude, you missed the big black ship, and it had. We were talking how loose it was because it let in Bond ship, and yeah, sure, Stromberg could say Bond was a little small bringing a ship in, but the thing is, it can never be too small if he's so big and loose. So the whole. Good.
There were already 2 in there.
Yeah, and even when you go all the way in, when you're that big, it doesn't matter if you're all the way in.
Stromberg's putting his own semen in there now.
Exactly.
Yep.
And again, for the audience, I'm sorry. Oh, there you go.
Oh, I gotta
Okay.
show. This is one of my Matchbox cars. This is my favorite.
Ah.
I remember that.
This was a fast car too. It won all the races. But, I mean, it's not James Bond. You know, it's Matchbox. But God, what a cool car.
Nice.
Is this Hot Wheels or Matchbox? This is Hot Wheels. The Royal Flash.
Hey, have a
Don't
good
forget
night,
every
dude. Thanks for listening to our show, man. Thanks for supporting
night,
Talk
sir.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
Good night.
All
man.
right.
And I have the Corgi submarine, but it's over at my mom, so I didn't have a chance to get it. But I should have had that for the show. But I do have the
Mr.
Moonraker space
I love
shuttle.
the corgi, dude.
Yeah, the Corgi is awesome. Yeah, it's like the best.
You
Having
weren't a real
Gerry
nerd
back-
in the 70s and 80s unless you collected corgis.
This sums
Yeah,
up
they're just
tonight.
so good.
It's one of those fucking nights. It really is one of those nights.
This is a good point to point out again.
Whoa,
that Stanley
whoa,
Kubrick
Dude,
lit those
get that
scenes.
out of the way, Gary. Don't just point at
now
me
you
like
mention
that.
I'm glad you mentioned that because I'm looking at it in a completely different way now. You mentioned Kubrick lit all this. It's pretty classy.
Well,
Yep.
the ship, I could see with the visuals of the Kubrickness in the ship, even with
Exactly.
with that big pointy missile that it looks
The
like
whole
it's ready
Doctor
to shoot.
Strangelove, that big room, the way he lit it.
Yeah. Even
But-
though it was all big and pointy and shooting one way, like even Kubrick had some homoeroticism in him. He just didn't know it. He just didn't know it.
Despite all the gay sex.
You know, Stromberg's talking a lot of sense here, really. He's actually making
my
sense
God.
of considered today.
Dude, he's movie Thanos. He was movie Thanos before Thanos. That's what I called. He was movie Thanos.
He's making a lot of sense about the state of the world. Yeah.
I was like, oh, he's one of those guys where because he's an environmentalist villain and because he has problems with the world, he needs everyone to bend to his will. And I was like, oh, he's one of those spoiled brat sons of bitches. Okay, you be like that, dude. And Bruce here. Go ahead, 70s.
They remade this now. They'd make Greta Thunberg the villain and running she'd be Stromberg.
Greta
She'd be
Stromberg. Greta Stromberg.
Greta Stromberg. That would be it. Greta Stromberg.
And Bruce here, who's been a member for 1 month, thank you, Bruce, says, I was going to post a Rocco quote, but it won't let me. Well, you could post it
Just
a
say it.
variation.
Oh, Rocco with the cat?
Just say
Yeah.
I can't go to the store without bumping into 9 guys, you fuck!
Nice.
I love that movie, dude.
All the more.
I got to tell you, I have watched that scene slow motion so many times of him shooting that fucking cat.
I tell you what, whenever they do the cat scene with the director commentary, that's actually where you fucking hear Troy Duffy lose it. He laughs his ass off.
Yeah, I think it was a huge mistake.
I like this
killing
line
Rocco.
here. Bring her. I'm sure you guys have already talked about how hot.
And not only
Hot
does
is,
he
right?
not only does he bring her, but he's like, when you do, you gotta get changed to a new outfit because we're making a movie here. We gotta keep it very toxic for the audience. I was like, oh hey, it's interesting how when every time a villain needs to bring in a girl that Bond can say they change outfits. Is that funny how that works? Definitely no toxicity was left in mind when that happened. No toxicity whatsoever. Well, I mean there's a lot of tanks right there for her to do just that.
You're welcome.
Damn.
I feel bad for the shark in this movie, though. Did PETA complain about Jaws eating the shark? Or...
Fucking the shark.
Every Bond movie has to have a shark, you know.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sharks with freaking lasers on their head.
I feel sorry for the shark in this one. I really feel sorry for the shark in this movie.
Why do you feel? Why?
Because the very end is not good.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he does get a few bumps to the head when everything comes falling down. I mean,
No. I mean, Jaws kills.
Oh yeah,
indeed.
You're right.
Jaws
Yeah,
Jaws
kills
Man
the
eating
shit
shark.
out of him.
Literally.
I know what you're talking about now. You're right. I remember now. Yeah, dude. I remember seeing that, and I was like, "Yeah, dude, Jaws is gonna live through this shit, and he's gonna kill the fucking shark." Because I thought originally when Jaws took the bait. Oh, Jaws is done for. Oh, what the fuck? And yeah, I was damn.
It is a
that blew my
literal
mind.
man-eating shark.
That's right.
Shark for man, actually.
Shark-eating man.
Marvin, Larry just brought up Marvin Hamlish again. Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. That the entire soundtrack. This is one of the better soundtracks from the period.
It is one of my absolute favorite Bond soundtracks. Period. All 11 songs. I mean, my favorites would probably be Bond 77, and I'd probably have to also go with I really love the Pyramid, of course. The Nobody Does It Better with Carly Simon. I mean, dude, it's a great album, and the artwork for it too is really killer artwork. I love the artwork. That's why another reason I want the vinyl of that. It's like, dude, yeah, it's just really.
I
good
got to
stuff.
tell you, Nick, my personal favorite still for the entire soundtrack is "License to Kill." Great opening song, great ending song.
Okay.
From what's her name? From the Motels did the outro song on that one.
Yep.
Gladys Knight sang the song.
Gladys Knight did "License to Kill." That's right.
I'll have
great
to
soundtrack.
I'll have to
go check
re-listen.
that soundtrack out. 2 great songs at the beginning and end, the opening theme and closing theme. Because Chrissy Hine, that's her name. She did the outro song.
The Pretenders.
Oh,
Pretenders.
yeah, that's right. Pretenders. I said Motels.
Pretenders.
You're right.
Yeah.
And
That's
Rush
what threw
Limbaugh's
me.
theme song. Yeah.
That's right.
You're a pretender.
You're a phony.
You're a hooker.
You're a great big phony, a big fat phony. That's, of course, a Family Guy reference for anybody who loves Family Guy.
How about Bond's great big plan to help get everyone out of the
Go back, Mark. That looked like somebody had superimposed one of you guys' face on that guy throwing the grenade.
But Mark is getting a
Next one.
big
There it
voice
is.
setup.
Oh, yeah.
That almost looks like Nick.
He looks like he's trying to play football in the ship. That's what he looks like.
Go out for a long one.
Dude.
Further.
Mark. Dude. Nice.
Now, keep
Mark.
in mind,
Well, that's I have
main-
the Playmobil Goldfinger DB5 too. I should throw that on there too. I think I've shown that before. The the
And wasn't that your
classic
nickname in
DB5.
high school, Goldfinger?
Yeah.
He was lucky. I had a brown finger.
Yeah, everything I touched turned to gold.
Girls
yeah.
really
Just
liked
like,
him.
just like the Led Zeppelin song.
See, I was more. I see. When I was coming to period, I was more of a bronze type of guy. I was more of a bronze.
Oh shit, he's gonna die from acting. I mean, grenade.
Oh no, I love the plan he has set here to basically bring the ship down and then get those 2 missiles to launch against each other.
Pause, Mark.
Save a lot of the troops. I thought
Back
this
to
was
the
a very
explosion.
well laid plan. I thought this was fucking awesome. They really
Mark.
thought this is a really, really incredible third act.
Oh, you want me to go
Mark,
back?
can you go back to the explosion?
The explosion, yeah. Which right here?
There. Inverted
Yeah.
and upside down for you there, Brian.
Yeah, look
That's
at
the
that.
way I like it. That's the way I like it.
That's a callback joke, folks.
Hanging upside down. It's always been
Inverted and upside down.
inverted.
It's a
Yeah,
preview
look at-
of Moonraker.
looking the other.
That time, I heard you coming.
Thumbs up.
Oh, fucking gross.
Thumbs up.
It's been getting worse since I showed up. This is not all on me, right? Have you guys been doing this all night?
Yes. It's so gross.
It's not Clobbering Times who's the bad influence, I hope, right?
For once, not
All
even me.
Poppy's fault.
True. That's
I mean, what does it sound like? It's just that's
'Cause-
all that's in my head now.
Because my daughter was
Fuck
going to
you,
go on.
whoever played that. That is so disgusting.
My daughter was going to go on and watch the stream to see the cat on the stream, but I might not tell her to go watch it now.
No,
Don't do that.
Oh, my God.
Don't. You want your kid in therapy?
Oh yeah, dude. she watches the stream. Seriously, yeah. It will.
Where's my
her-
dad
her-
and my cat? Yeah.
Oh, who are all
Daddy,
these?
what does fine
degenerates?
AF mean?
Why are
What's
these guys
motorboat?
Why?
What does it mean to be a cunning linguist?
What does pointy missiles have to do with anything? Why are they talking about the ship like it's letting something big in? Like, yeah, it's no. There's just something.
Is that a
you don't do.
heat-seeking moisture missile?
Is that what they call it euphemistically?
Hey, I'm not Catholic. Don't say that.
Hey, baby, look at my heat-seeking moisture missile.
Hi, Dustin.
What's up?
How you feeling during all this madness? Pointy shit.
I'm just an innocent observer.
Just an innocent observer.
You're Switzerland.
By the way, bringing up Dolph Lundgren, I didn't realize this until later that Dolph Lundgren was representative of Arnold Schwarzenegger in that movie. In Rocky.
In Rocky
Was it
4?
Rocky 4. That
Dude,
his hatred.
Go back, Mark. Go back. Go back.
His hatred of him led to that.
Go back. No, look, stop right there.
Oh shit!
Tell me
that's
his hand
clearly
didn't look like a fucking fish hand. Stromberg had a fish hand. Go back.
Well,
where they
you could be right. You know.
Later at the Legion of Doom's headquarters.
Right there. Right there.
Oh my god, he
Oh,
does.
he's got a bit of
He has
webbing. He's
webbed
got some
fingers.
webbing.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he's Aquaman.
Holy
He's
shit.
Aquaman.
Wow.
It's
That means
subtle,
he's
but
probably-
there it is. Yeah.
Either he was a mutant or he was genetically manipulating his own body.
He's like the man from Atlantis, Patrick Duffy.
He must have had. He
No,
must have had a lot of semen from.
He's about
from
to-
sea animals.
He's
Oh
about
my
to
God,
genetically
Nick.
manipulate Barbara Bach's body.
But it really does look like he's going, hey, come over here. Turn your head. Turn your head. Open up.
And then
Close
set
your
light.
eyes.
Then he'll
Tell me
set
what
light to
tastes
her.
like strawberries.
He'll set light to her.
It's Biden.
Does it taste like strawberries and cream?
When Gary was talking about, he was like, I didn't realize that Dolph Lundgren. I thought he was going to talk about how big his dick was.
Oh no, just my mind is
Cue
twisted
the
now
clip.
from what you showed. That's just like I'm fucked now. My brain is
Now
fucked.
you're never gonna look at
I can
Stromberg's
hear you
hands
coming.
the same
I'm
way.
like, oh my god.
You're gonna see Stromberg's hands, and you're imagine the stroke, and you're gonna see
Uh,
those snaps from between his index fingers
Limp
and his
Bizkit.
thumb going up and down. It's
Oh shit! Look at that Aston Martin, dude.
oh shit. All right, you can
Is that
keep
the
it going
corgi?
now. You can keep it going, but yeah, this is. Oh, dude,
Is that the corgi? Because that looks bigger than a corgi.
What?
The Playmobil.
Oh, okay. I was about to say that is
Very
not a
cool.
corgi.
Playmobil's
It's too
killing
big.
it now with toys. Yeah,
That
they're-
is
they're
pretty,
killing
dude.
it.
Look at
Oh,
that.
sorry, I was
That
just
is
leaving it on
awesome.
Barbara there. She's tough to take off.
Oh, it's got the ejectable seat.
Yeah,
It's
totally
even got a
effective.
spare car that it can eject to use in
I did a
It's
YouTube
got a
video on
spare
it.
car.
Hey, does it come with the anal lube?
Whoa,
No, it
fuck.
does not need that. No, it's Bond.
It squirts something. I was assuming it was anal lube.
Wow. I have fucking nothing. But oh, dude, look at they're all massaging that big missile, and he notice how he has to be gentle. He has to pull the butt plug out really gently because if he like touches one like edge around it, everything like goes off like the thing
Instant
pulls his
nuclear
quad.
orgasm.
Like, yeah, I've never seen Bond be so delicate with something in his hands. It's almost kind of unusual because he's usually very Florida
Oh, look
man.
at the
but
way
when
he's
he
looking
puts
at
his
him.
hands
That guy was enjoying it. You see that?
Dude, his eyes were. Yeah, he's just like, oh, I've never been. Oh, look, he's just like, oh,
Yeah, he's
shit.
impressed.
He looks like he has gas.
And he looks worried. He's just like, oh man, I can't believe this is a really weird position to be this close watching it take something out very slowly.
I don't know. For some reason, I'm having a call back to a dream I had in the army when a drill sergeant was yelling at me while I was banging my girlfriend. He's like, "You're doing it wrong. Let me show you how to do that."
Step aside, private.
That's what he said. Step aside, and I had to watch. I'm like, I woke up from that dream going, what the fuck?
You see that, Dustin? You've been called out by Handy Randy. He said, I see Gary's the most toxic on the panel. Dustin, you need to step up and get your title back.
Well, I figured I'd give him a head start.
Oh, a head start. You gave him a head start.
That's right.
Bringing deep purple smoke.
That means he gave me a full inch and a half early.
Hey, you know what? I do what I can.
Oh, that's nice.
Just the
He's
tip.
proud of what he.
I'm a giver, okay?
He's proud of what he has. What little
I
he has
am.
to offer, he's proud.
Hey, I only got 4 inches, but I throw it like it's a foot.
They call me Tuna Can.
Holy shit.
I might not be long,
It's short
but I'm
and stubby, but it's really big around.
Gary's really missed being on this panel. I can tell he's getting it all in at once.
Whoa.
He's like,
Make it up
not
for
saving
lost
anything for
time.
next week, right? Yeah.
Getting it all in at once.
Wow, that sounded really gay.
Disco balls on the fucking deck.
Oh,
Oh God,
damn.
yeah, the disco ball. This is great. But look at the lighting on this scene.
It's a laser ball, isn't it?
Laser on the freaking sharks.
Oh damn.
Huge sharks with frickin' laser beams attached to their heads.
There you go. That is, in my opinion, the single greatest James Bond riff ever.
It's a good riff. It's a really damn good riff.
Well,
You-
he's a
man.
good
Look at the
Bond
crazy
villain.
lighting here, dude.
Dude,
This
you
guy's
just
not
got
a good Bond villain.
Stromberg? You don't think so?
I don't think so. I think Stromberg is just he's like a wish version of Doctor Doom.
Well, he's not even really quite evil.
He's not really even there half
My
the
problem
time.
with him.
I don't know.
Because
He's
what he
murdering
says
them.
makes sense.
He
when you
murders
listen to him.
indiscriminately, so no, he's evil.
Well, I'm not saying what he says doesn't make sense. I feel like this every day when I wake up, but I don't have a lair or thing the money like that. But Stromberg is very boring, and for Bond, I expect more.
See, I
It's bland. He's bland.
I am mixed feelings on that stance. I like his typical supervillain plot. I don't feel like he's Doctor Doom though, or wish Doctor Doom, because Doctor Doom, well, he quotation mark cares about people in Latveria. Quotation mark cares. Whereas this guy kind of just lets you know he doesn't give a shit about you. Period.
No, he doesn't.
No,
And don't
he
ride
just
an
doesn't-
elevator in his lair either.
So, and also he has fish hands. Like they like he is. So you're all like, if you're getting like a handy from Stromberg, you're gonna see those flaps up and down. If you're getting happy, and I'm sure Handy Randy's really excited about a Stromberg handy. I mean,
Is that
sure,
more
he's got-
pleasuring, Nick? Nick, is that more pleasuring? Do you think, or more scaling?
I mean, you figure we've all made our mistakes. We've all had fish hands from time to time.
What's he smell like during Red Tide? During Red Tide, does it really smell bad? That's what I want to know.
Oh, fuck.
Man's got to know his limitations.
Clint, we have disappointed you. This stream is fucked, and we have definitely not had limitations tonight, especially backdoor Gerry. Oh, whoa!
Hey, that was the gratuitous dick shot there.
That was well, no, because there's dick to dick, and the two dicks give each other.
Yeah,
a
you got to
dick.
get the dick to dick.
Yeah,
They call
go-
that docking.
Geary knows. It's on his,
My
it's on
life
his
changed
Grindr
forever when I
profile.
found that name out.
Oh, damn.
What's this thing called docking? Oh my God, no. Why is this a thing?
Don't cross
Holy-
the streams.
Oh, this stream has been crossed.
Don't you think those uniforms look like they could be from Spaceballs or something?
Spaceballs
There's something
or
very camp about those uniforms.
No. No, I could see the docketing going on here, but I don't see Spaceball. They look too classy. They look too classy, 70s, and even I know it was a decent attempt, but dude, I remember originally thinking, oh boy, they're gonna collide right into each other. This shit's gonna go. I actually thought it was gonna go wrong. I actually did think they were gonna see with that. I was ready to laugh. Typical teenager was gonna rip like, wow, they missed. Nope, they just hit each other. Wow. He's like, I'm gonna come. No,
So
I'm gonna come.
It's a
And
double
then-
penetration. Double
It is.
penetration.
Well, they let each other knew that they were gonna come, and then they both actually did, and then they both freaking like suffered the consequences of the other coming. And
Yeah,
look,
this is the woman getting pregnant here.
Somewhere a kaiju is born.
This is how men perceive what pregnancy really means.
Wow. A kaiju is born. What the fuck?
I know.
There's always nuclear radiation and a nuclear explosion involved.
You got Monarch gone now.
Yeah.
You are never going to recover. With cum like that everywhere, you're never going to recover. Straight up.
I could hear you coming.
She's gonna blow. Captain, she's gonna blow.
By the way, I want to compliment again Derek Medding's miniature work in this, because he's one of those few guys that did a really good job of shooting water, because it's hard to do miniatures with water because water doesn't change.
Yes.
And he would build these props just big enough to where the water didn't look like really weird.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
I
what
can
happens.
tell
You
you-
see those some movies, the ships look like they're mini ship. You can just tell they're they're
They're
models.
model
And
ships. Yeah.
they did a nice job here. Yeah,
Meddings would build these ships at like 12 feet in length.
It must be
just to get that
satisfying
realism.
to spend weeks and months making all these great miniatures and then blow the shit out of them.
I would love to blow them up, dude. I would love to do that. That would be like my life's calling.
Yeah. Look at this
Your
beautiful
life
ship I
calling
built.
is to blow things.
To blow
To blow felds.
blow that shit up.
You can blow things or blow shit up. Whatever. It's Toxic Tuesday, right?
Yeah. It's what we
Whichever
were born-
pays most, I guess.
Lube that tube. I thought that said lube tube.
Oh, Dustin's on the comeback. Comeback.
Lube tube.
I came on her back.
Get the biggest, blackest one out.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Yeah, when you say that, we need Keith here.
Open the lube door. Open lube one.
Got the lube door and the tube door.
Lube one.
Shane Rimmer. There he is.
Shane Rimmer, yeah.
I don't want to say we shot everything, but we did blow our load.
Oh, this is a sensory overload. Oh man.
Are we demonetized yet?
Yeah, we are so
Were we ever?
I don't think we even started.
No,
We
dude.
looked at it.
No, we're absolutely demonetized. Trust me, guys. It's okay. We'll be fine here. I appreciate you all hanging out here tonight for this show. And that's all.
Rub her midships? Or rudder, sorry.
Oh damn.
He's looking through his glory hole there.
Look into it, and you've seen all those. All those Siemens got blowed up.
That's right. There's semen everywhere. Bits.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the condom burst. Semen are coming out of the hole. It's horrible.
The top blew right off of that one.
Yeah, I know.
I wonder how far the semen went.
They went everywhere. Don't you know?
As far as your eye can see.
All those fishes.
There's no sense in going off half-cocked. Bottoms up. My name is Bond. James Bond.
Oh. Wow, he was cocked and loaded with that one. Oh my god.
Come, Mr. Bond. You enjoy the scallop just as much as I do.
The poor boss.
No. No.
This is the worst adult film ever. It took them 2 hours to blow all those semen up.
That's right.
Better than Jewish porn, though. I mean, a Jewish porn is an hour of begging, 5 minutes of sex, and 48 minutes of begging for forgiveness. I'll pay you.
I got to tell you, Poseidon had his belly full of semen that day.
All holes filled.
Holes still.
You're welcome, Mr. Xenon 1993.
We have done our job. Mission accomplished.
All right. An early Christmas for Mr. Xenon right there. And please don't forget to wipe your backs.
Oh. I can't breathe, and I actually mean it.
You broke Nick.
And then they'll play the tune again.
I swear, I'm not claustrophobic.
They'll play the theme again. Nobody does me better. Yeah.
Nobody does me better. By the way, Brian, I was wrong. The Chrissy Hines song was from The Living Daylights.
The Living Daylights.
Gladys
okay.
and I did both opening and closing songs. For,
right, I couldn't remember. Yeah.
Oh.
If You Ask Me To is the one she did for the end.
Okay.
Oh. Oh.
Goodbye, Mr. Bond.
Now, Lou.
Oh, James.
You did want me to drop in. I love that line. You did want, dude. I like how he tried to Stromberg tried to shoot his hole through it, and he's just like, "No, I'll shoot you in your hole," and he shot him.
Yeah, I know. Again, another reference to docking.
I'll shoot you through your hole twice, and then I'll get you another couple times.
He shot him with his own hole. That's kind of impressive. You got to admire that. He shot him with his own hole. Like, not every day someone gets to get blown by their own hole, but this guy got blown by his own hole.
Look at the length of your barrel.
I mean, that is a very toxic gun.
I guess it's the size that does count.
Yeah, but he got blown.
So you're saying that barrel was not shortened?
Oh, dude, look at
good screen cap.
Show him the balls.
Go back.
Pretty much.
Oh, look at
He
that.
looks like he had a good time.
He blew his load and look at his face.
I mean, how else could you interpret that? That is a nut shot right there.
That is an O face right there.
Yeah. Did Bond shoot first?
Oh, dude.
I think the villain just nutted.
Did Bond shoot first? No, he didn't.
He's like, that's what it feels like to get blown by my own hole. Shit. Oh, damn. Oh, dude, yeah, that was the Nutcracker. Oh, man.
That last 3 minutes was the Nick Cracker.
Of course, they deleted the line out of it when he said, "You shot me in my web dick." It's not just web fingers.
It had to be like flat, like a rudder.
Oh,
yeah, it's like a fin from the nut to the head.
Yeah,
he's got to have a fin going off the scrotics.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like he's got the same thing up there between them. That's so fucking freaky.
Oh, holy shit! I'm not gonna sleep the same way tonight. Yes, Chad has been absolutely killing it. This show's been holy crap. I you can really feel every inch of what Gerry added to the show tonight.
Every inch.
Tuna can successful.
The only inch.
Go back to Stromberg's face. He looked like he was trying to get out.
Like, no, not on the face.
Is he eating oysters there?
For the tits.
I think he's eating.
Yeah, it is. That's oysters.
Oysters.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't like scallops.
Let the guy finish his oysters before you kill him. At least.
Scallops. I've got a clip for scallops.
Come, Mr. Bond. You enjoy the scallop just as much as I do. Please, eat.
Oh, damn.
Well, when it comes to inches, just remember, like I said, it's 4 inches, but I throw it like it's a foot.
I've only got 4 inches, but they like it that way. So
Stromberg was shaken by those 2 inches.
Yeah.
Wow.
Those
Well, God
oysters
only
didn't
knows,
do him
Brian,
a damn bit
I
of
know you
good.
don't want. Oh wait, I'm sorry. What? I missed that. What?
Red Shirt said something about doing good.
Oh, I
And
said
they're-
those oysters didn't do him a damn bit of good.
Bit of good. Nope, he never
No.
got to use it.
But Jaws shows up for one last fight, and it's really cool because he has not only does we get to inevitably see him conquer a shark, but I love that fact when Bond goes down to the bottom level and he uses the magnetizing thing from the top. He's like, "How does that grab you?" I laughed so
Oh my God.
hard.
Yes.
And I can't remember, how do they say Jaws survived this?
Dude, he just
fell into
lived.
the water, and then he got
swam.
attacked by the shark,
He
and then
swam.
he killed the shark with his own teeth.
And he's got those teeth. Yeah, that protected him from the blast.
Do you think they intentionally had planned to use him again, even if they had not done Moonraker, but did the other film?
Oh,
That they were going to
I
bring him
think he
back?
turned out to be so popular
eyes
that
only.
they had to bring him back. Yeah.
I think the fact that they not only had him like swim away, or I think he was going to be. My guess is intentionally they were probably going to use him for this one movie, but have him live. But because how well his character was received, like, okay, well, since he lived, we might as well bring him back for more. And that's what I think happened. I obviously can't prove, but dude,
There's the magnet.
There it is.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, Jaws is Wile E. Coyote. He
Yep.
doesn't win, but he never dies.
Yes.
I like that. Well,
I
when
do
you get a really good villain, it's kind of nice not to kill him off.
Right.
Oh, yeah. You
'Cause I
act-
do
then,
that
of
in
course,
my
this
own
is a
graphic
villain.
novel because one of the villains in my book, the original idea was to kill him. And I'm like, this guy's too good. I got to bring him back.
And of course, that leads to the big controversy we're going to have to talk about when we do Moonraker. Dolly had braces when I was in the movie theater, and they changed this, or the reality has gone wrong. So here's, Jaws. I was in the movie theater, and she had braces. Now this is on my DVD. I'm like, there are no more braces.
Did they digitally take him out?
No,
Yes.
they said they were never there.
What?
Oh my
They said
God!
that's bullshit.
It's what do you call that?
That's fucking
Mandela
Berenstein Bears
effect.
property.
Mandela effect. Yeah.
So this is for next week.
But I thought she had braces too.
Yes, but no, I went and clobbering time. Someone brought this up in the chat one night, and I'm like, no, she has braces. I went out and got my DVD and put the DVD on. I'm like, she had no braces.
Dolly had braces. I don't care what they've done to alter reality.
Wait a minute.
since.
Yeah.
She had braces.
Wait a minute.
I could have
Wait a
sworn she
minute.
did
Betty
too.
Boop.
I swear
Betty
to God.
Boop in Who Framed Roger Rabbit fell out of her dress in one frame on the laser disc and the
my God.
VHS, but not
on.
on the DVD or later. So they
Zoom
do
in.
change stuff.
Oh, I know they do change stuff, but
Go back and zoom in.
They're claiming that she never ever had braces, not that it was
the whole
changed.
point of the joke was that she
Yes,
did.
nipples.
Yes, but
Right.
and I'm telling you, I was at the movie theater and I saw
Yeah,
these.
me too.
I saw that
Yeah.
smile, but that
I
is
saw
what's on
too.
the DVD. But they're not claiming that it was edited.
No, they're saying she
No,
never
they're
had
trying
them.
to claim they never made the quote steak unquote in the first place. They're trying
Yeah,
to
that's
memory hole it.
They're saying it
Yeah.
never happened. at
Anybody
all.
got this on VHS?
Zoom
That's,
in,
yeah,
zoom in,
nice.
please.
Nice, I know, nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, would you zoom
Zoom in.
into the teeth.
Oh
Hello.
my God! Look at that.
Yeah.
Down, down,
No,
down.
no,
down,
you're
down.
going the wrong.
Back to the boobs. There we go.
That, I
course,
can
no,
already
it's
see
opposite.
the
Areolas.
right there.
You can see the areolas too.
No wonder
Look
you
at
didn't
that.
notice that she didn't have braces. That's what you were looking at. I was
She's
looking at the
cockeyed.
braces.
Hold on,
She
she's
certainly had to
cockeyed.
brace herself a few times. That's for sure.
Of course, I'm
Her eyes are
cockeyed.
off, or her nipples are off. Look at them. One's aimed up, one's aimed down.
That's where she's hiding the
One's
braces.
fatter than the other.
She's got googly eyes for boobs.
She had braces.
Yes,
It's
no,
just-
she didn't. According to
This is the
everyone that you can
Mandela
find
effect.
online. She never.
Everyone
had braces,
is going to take a long shower after the stream.
Well, most people online, Mark, aren't old enough to have seen this in the theater.
but not because of that.
Oh, unfortunately, yeah. But I was in the movie theater.
I was there
All my friends
on release,
had
and she
braces.
had braces.
And they're
This
all
is a
saying it's a Mandela effect.
BYOK episode. Bring your
People
own Kleenex.
talked about it all the time after it.
Yeah.
They talked about that scene all the time.
Yeah. And I can't find it, and no one can find it with the braces on any of the DVDs, unless
They're
someone has
messing
it on VHS. But and then I think Clobberin Time said that his buddy had it on VHS, and
Yeah, he does. He's
Have-
going to unbury it somewhere. Sorry, but she had braces. I was
They're
there.
messing with our reality.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. I absolutely remember her having
I went
braces, but
to see Moonraker for like 6-7 times.
oh,
She had
dude, yeah,
braces
back
in
in
this scene.
'78. Jeez, come on.
79.
Was
Man.
79? I thought it was 78. Okay. But anyway, Nick, you need to put a label up on shows when we get like this and call it BYOK. Bring your own Kleenex.
Oh, another great moment where she pops the bottle. Huh? Get it? She popped the bottle.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. Oh. what a great way to call it. And they're basically they're just having
And
sweet
she'll
love
never-
together on the ship as they dropped in.
She'll
I was
never
just
think
like-
of her ex-lover again that Bron brutally killed. That's it. Forgotten about it now.
Oh, I missed. I skipped Jaws getting eaten by the shark. Or Jaws eating the shark. Well, we're talking about Dolly's braces.
We better go back yet.
We got to see a couple pictures of that. You know, what number are we on?
Yeah, I couldn't remember how he
119.
survived. Yeah, that's God, man. I love Jaws in this movie, man. He was great.
Yeah.
Let's see. Where's the Jaws fight? Let's go to the Jaws fight.
I like how Mr. Gray was like, Bond, what do you think you're doing? He's like, keeping the British end up, sir. That is a hell of a line to close with the
great
movie. It is a 5-star line for me. Oh wow. Oh whoa. I didn't know these two had a relationship.
Would it be
together.
great if they just said what they actually meant? Oh, he just did her in the ass, drilled her hard. Don't even bother with the vagaries.
Says that right to the Red October guy. Fuck you. Fuck your spy.
Bond's
You-
dick
you're an-
erases memory.
Then he has to apologize. Sorry, man. I'm OCD and I'm on the spectrum.
At least
I
he
gotta
doesn't
say what
put
I
her in a
mean.
closet.
He just banged her into keister. Oh, here it is. Yeah, the biting the shark. Man eating shark.
You couldn't do that today. The shark would have to eat him.
Fucking Pete
See,
was
Not allowed to hurt an animal.
Goddamn feminists and their shark love. Yeah, PETA.
See, and PETA, they will let the shark eat them.
That's
Straight up,
right.
They would. They would.
Pacifist.
Yeah, they were. Pacifist.
That's why I believe that PETA should just mean people eating tasty animals.
And that's what it does
See-
mean. to
See what I
normal people.
mean when I said that
Yep.
Stromberg kidnapped Anya, and he's like, "Oh, somewhere in this, you're gonna change your outfit," and she straight up did. What?
Yeah.
Yep.
Straight up.
See, they could have had
happened.
Jaws die in this too. I think he was just so damn popular. They're like,
No.
like what
Do
they
you
should have
think
done
that
with Darth
he
Maul.
originally did?
You literally see him,
Or-
you see him swimming. You do see him swimming. at
Well,
that
I'm
one
wondering if that was
scene.
something that was tacked
I
on
don't know.
later
I think
because of
I think
early
everyone
views.
was. I think everyone was paying attention to something else right here and wasn't paying attention to what Jaws was doing.
I mean, she's, yeah.
Oh my
Someone
God.
clip that. I mean, yeah,
Oh my
I
God,
like
look
that.
at that.
Speechless.
It's a standard reaction to boobs. The great boobs.
Hail Will and finally some representation.
Hello.
Hi, Randy.
All right, chat. Go ahead and give out your scores to The Spy Who Loved Me as these start to go into the final scenes again.
Again.
And worth it, by the way. Absolutely worth it because it's a great ending. Love this ending. And then we'll let the panel say their thoughts. So we'll let Dustin. Dustin, you get to kick the British end up, sir, by speaking first.
Well, let's see. Toxicity, I think, there's a lot of cum shots in this. I mean, inadvertent. But... I mean,
you're that OCD guy that's on the spectrum in the movie I keep suggesting they do. You just say it.
Oh, I apologize too. The slideshow seems to have gotten stuck here. I can't move it.
That is totally okay.
Nightmare. Nightmare. That's it. Show's over.
Show's over.
I mean,
I'm going to clip you saying that. Show's over. Play that at the end of all my shows.
Show's over. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of semen being blown out of tubes and sharks and tits, and I mean, this is it's dudes with metal jaws and teeth and shit. So I think Toxicity, it's got to be a 9 out of 10.
Okay.
And greatness, I think, as far as Bond movies go, it's like a 7.5. But I mean, with us, the way we talk about it, it's like a 12 out of 10. Everybody's back.
Everybody's back now. Okay.
Thank you, Gary. I appreciate that you are here.
I appreciate.
Thanks,
I have missed you.
Oh, me too, guys. I would message Nick going, God damn it, I just want to come back because I miss you guys so much. Come back.
He's like, hey, Nick, I just want to come. Nick, I just want to come.
Come on your back.
Like, I don't know if it's gay unless you like make eye contact while there's the blowjob. Blowjob's not that gay.
That's what I've said for years.
It's like a handshake that feels better.
It's like I said to a buddy of mine in high school. He was trying to fuck with this little kid, and he said, "Hey man, what's going on with my dick?" I said, "Hey Jay, I had no idea you were fucking swung that way." And he's like, "I'm not getting a blowjob doesn't make you gay." I said, "If you can maintain an erection while the guy's doing that, you're gay."
Yep.
Then he just walked away, going, "Fuck you."
Oh man. Oh, thank you, Dustin.
You're very welcome, sir.
We now have one man who kept his British end up. We have seven more to
his
go.
British end?
British end up. Yeah. Mark.
And Jaws does get away like Darth Vader there, I guess. Yeah.
Go ahead, Mark.
Oh, well, I think I'm gonna have to tell my kid not to listen to this video. Maybe I'll just clip the 30 seconds when Mochi was on.
You should not allow your kid to watch any of this episode.
Well,
Never.
She's
no Tuesdays for the kid.
She's 23, so.
Then she's okay to watch it.
No,
that's like my daughter. Same age as my daughter.
She's still pure. We can still save her.
But anyway, this is one of my all-time favorite movies. I mean, maybe it's a little bit over the top. Craziness, but this is the Bond I grew up loving, and man, the gadgets in this movie, that's what I miss about the new James Bond. I mean, there's almost no cool gadgets, no tongue-in-cheek, and Roger Moore is a different Bond than different Bond than Connery, but there's so much charm and appeal. And of course, I'm looking at this with thinking of I was a kid watching this movie, and wow, what a cool guy James Bond was, and you wanted to be James Bond, right? Especially at the end here, right? So it's got the gadgets, got the charm. Moore is not the kick-ass mean agent. He's more of a charming agent, but he also doesn't mean he doesn't kill anyone or take people out either. So you don't want to mess with him. But so he's got his own stamp on the character. I think this is one of the better Bond movies and fun. I think The Man with Golden Gun was not as good. So I think this is definitely because we went out of order. This is the third one. So I think this is a much better showing. This movie, and God, it's just the double entendres, the clip, the one-liners in this are fantastic. And of course, you've got Barbara Bach in this movie, looking phenomenal. So that adds points to it too. So I'm giving this giving this an A. You know, it's like a 93 out of 100. It's a solid A. Toxicity, well, it's Bond, and he's getting the ladies. You've got no freaking laser beams, but you got sharks eating people, villains. I guess maybe it's not as toxic as the guy's living under the ocean with nature and wants to preserve the earth, I guess. So, but yeah, it's like an 8 in toxicity, and yeah, it's I don't know. Did we worried about Handy Randy or Fish Hands here? I guess it's
Fish Hands.
I think it's I think it's 4 out of 5 fish hands. You know, Handy Randy Fish Hands. But yeah, I mean, just these Roger Moore Bond movies. Oh, they're just you know, he's just such a charming guy, and he's a great guy. Was a great guy in real life. Did a lot of charity work. Everyone said, you know, really nice things about him, and yeah, so that's Sir Roger Moore. Yeah, so he's missed, and just love watching him as Bond. And when I think of James Bond, that's who I think of first, because that's who I grew up with. And of course, in the end credits here, James Bond will return in For Your Eyes Only, but no, he won't. He'll return in Moonraker. So, which is interesting. But yeah, they never went back and edited that out like they did with Dolly's Braces. But yeah, just go watch this movie if you haven't seen it. This is a lot of fun. This is classic, you know, sharks with freaking laser beams. We have the villain with this underground lair, you know, Captain Nemo. He's like a Captain Nemo type villain. Just it's just awesome. So just love this
you
film.
know, Mark, just to point out that's also the similarity with Drax. He's also a very Nemo-esque.
Moonraker's a remake of this.
I feel like it really was in many ways.
You're right.
I love it, but I mean, it was a dopey fun, but it was a remake of this.
Yeah, just space instead of underwater.
Yeah, but
good point.
This is a class. And the car. I didn't mention the car. Can I mention the car? I mean,
that's the
even
part
cooler
I'm
than
for Mark.
Yeah, the car. I mean, that's it.
Third best part of the movie, right there.
Yeah, I mean that car that turns into and did we talk? You guys talk about how they actually found the actual car in a storage unit in New Jersey? Someone bought the storage unit and found the car. Yeah, I'll find it while you guys are talking about the movie. But they found the storage. They found because they had different models. Now, of course, the car didn't really do this, but they had like a diving model that could go underwater with divers.
Yeah, because it was absolutely made to do that.
Yeah,
the other one was the drivable one, and then there was the sub one.
What do you mean it couldn't go underwater? Don't
ruin
it for me.
Don't ruin the illusion.
Shattering our illusions.
Damn it, Mark. Yeah. But but the car, oh my God, I idolize that car. And how cool is that scene when he drives up on the beach?
Dude,
and
amazing.
he throws the fish out the window.
Amazing.
So kudos to the Bond people. What a great stuff. You know, that's what when I'm watching some of the new Blonde movies, I'm like,
I like
what's going on? Where are the
new
gadgets?
Blonde.
Yeah, James Blonde.
James Blonde. Yeah.
What was the last Bond you watched there, Mark?
What'd you say?
What was the last Bond movie you watched? The last new Bond?
I did watch the last new one, but it just was so dark and depressing. I hated them all, and I've only watched them once. I guess Casino Royale is tolerable.
That's the only new Bond movie I've liked since Shithead took over.
Yeah, it's a decent movie, but it's not really a Bond film.
And maybe the Adele theme song was good. I call her Adele instead of Adelaide. What Adele? What's her name?
Whatever.
I mean, I guess that was an okay song.
Yeah, we're not going to get any more good Bond films under Barbara Broccoli.
No, it's
we're just
done.
not going to get any more.
Those are over.
No.
It's just
dread
they're horrible.
Dread to think what they're going to do.
A good actor is not going to save it. Straight up, it ain't going to.
No, it's you got to have a strong foundation, just like building a house to make a good film.
Yeah,
and if they start with that woke shit, fourth wave feminism, it's just not going to work.
Well, I heard maybe the female Silver Surfer will make an appearance in the next film.
Oh God!
Yeah.
Oh, dude,
Bond is going to save us from Galactus.
Gary's comment calling it the Silver Surf her was pretty damn hilarious.
Yeah,
I thought that was really funny.
Yeah,
Gerry with the MCU terms is really good as per usual.
And of course, we're talking about the other Gerry, or as we refer to it as the other white meat. I said that to him and he laughed.
How can you not? It's fucking funny.
You're the other white meat. I said that to Gerry.
All right, so Bruce, why don't you go ahead and tell us your final thoughts
I think the
as we're watching
beginning-
you brush your things. Keep brushing.
I think the beginning of this movie is the strongest part of it, and I don't want to shit all over it because there's some big fans in here, but this is not the Bond I really appreciate. He was more when I was more was Bond when I was growing up, but I really prefer Connery, and behind Connery I want Brosnan. I'm not a super fan of Moore. He just seems like he's kind of out of his element, like Donnie, and he's really charmer. He's a great charmer. He can actually fight a little bit. Has to be choreographed, but it's the opening part of this movie just is amazing. They did a really good job getting that perfection done. But after the opening credits, the rest of the movie just feels kind of flat, and it seems like it goes on for about 20 minutes too long. The parts of the movie I really enjoy. Richard Keel, amazing. Jaws is probably the most entertaining part of the Bond villains scene in this movie. Stromberg just bores the shit out of me. It's like I feel the same way as he does, but no, I don't have the Legion of Doom little miniature to zoom around in the Earth's oceans with and condemn you all to hell. But I think he's just boring. He's played way too much potato salad. He really is. And then Roger Moore
Would
is
you
just
prefer that he tosses it?
I would, whatever he does.
You were so ready to say yeah. You were ready to say yeah. He should toss
Just liven up the scene. God damn it! He's so like him and Moore are perfect for each other because they could do scissor kicks on each other all day, and it's just boring. Granted, he shot at Moore and he missed. Moore blew 2 times down his hole and then finished him off the third to the chest, which was great. That's like the only cool thing Moore does in the movie, aside from defending himself from Jaws. And he does save Miss Amorosa very well. From Jaws, that's cool too. But she cucks him throughout a lot of the movie, and she does a really good job of maintaining a firm upper hand over him for the most part. He's kind of, like I said earlier, second wave feminism took a big root on her character development and script writing, and I think that she is very well written for a Bond villain or a Bond rival, but I don't feel like he's the main character in this movie. He feels like Kurt Russell in Big Trouble in Little China. He's wants to be the main character. He's a sidekick. She's the main character.
Kurt Russell's not the sidekick in that movie.
Yeah,
he is the superstar of that film.
I don't agree. But
I love
I'll let you have it.
Wayne's a great character, but anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
But this movie is enjoyable at the very least because you have the amazing but wasted Caroline Munro, Barbara Bach, Richard Keel. You have a great Lotus that is on screen right now. And then you have some other really great practical effects. The miniature work in this movie is really top tier. So as much as you guys are going to lambast me, I'm going to say this is like a 58 out of 100.
Nobody's going to lambast you, dude.
For my general score is a 58 out of 100. For toxicity, I'm going to rate it super. There's 2 ways I'm doing it. I'm doing it for the general movie. Toxicity is like a 65. But with the addition of Miss Cardi B's mother, played by Barbara Bach, it's a 90 out of 100.
You better watch out. Maybe Gary's going to spank you now.
She does such a good job of being a toxic fuck in this movie. She's the reason this movie succeeds, I think. And I think this is probably the worst Bond movie I've watched.
Ooh.
Hold on.
Ouch.
Most Bond movies are pretty good. Like, this is the bottom of the barrel of the Bonds.
Ooh.
From here, they go up. This is great.
Wow.
But this is the worst of the Bond movies.
Have you seen Spectre?
No, not yet.
On Her Majesty's Secret Service is like one of the best ever made.
That's a disservice to this
Wait a minute.
movie
If you hadn't seen,
compared to
if you hadn't seen them all, let's be fair to him.
I stopped watching him at Quantum of Solace because
that was bad.
That one's awful.
The guy was the fucking Bond villain was so pathetic. I'm going to make all the Earth's water like Belgium water. No, this is not This is not what I came for. This is not the Bond villains I want. Give me evil. Don't give me United Nations. You know, that's
United
that's the
Nations
problem.
are evil.
They are evil, but we can defeat the shit out of that evil. Fuck, I mean, we had 80 fucking postmen in Poland almost destroy 180 SS. They had to radio in for a fucking naval vessel to shell the goddamn post office. You understand that? So, I mean, that was the first battle of World War II. I'm telling you, evil's not hard to defeat. All you've got to do is get to where you're exchanging gunfire using shit like this. It's pretty quick where you get rid of evil, okay, guys?
I'm not with it, but you know what? Hey, we are no echo chamber here.
No, that's right.
I'll let you have that.
Sweet.
I'll have you. Hey, that's what we're here for. This is what
Well, the
Toxic
Russians,
Tuesday is about.
you know, they've always done it right with putting a 2-cent Tokarov pistol into a bad guy's brain. You just shoot him.
Bruce is our 3 a.m. ballot dump opinion. That's what he is. He's a 3 a.m. ballot dump.
Wow. That's hard.
Oh,
oh man, dude.
Hey, Nick, can I score Bruce's review?
Oh no! Oh no!
I give Bruce an 11 out of 10 for most unintentional sexual innuendos in a single review.
Oh, Bruce killed with the sexual
overhanded.
Stuff. He's shooting bullets.
Oh my god! Just shooting him in his own hole. I can't believe how many innuendos you threw into that review.
You're welcome.
Oh,
I don't know if you can hear me chuckling every single time you did it, going, "Oh my god, what?"
Bruce has a firm grasp on this.
Firm grasp. Oh my god.
Look at these meaty hands.
Well done, Bruce.
His nickname in high school from his calluses was the Shredder.
Bruce, you know I love you.
I love you guys.
It's true. Yeah. The feelings are absolutely mutual. Very mutual. All right. Let's give it to our next dude here. Gerry.
Oh, me?
Yeah, you.
Oh, okay. So, I definitely I like this film. It's fun. I'm not a big Roger Moore fan, but he had 3 good films. And so I give this film for the toxicity, for quality of filmmaking, directions, all of it. I give it a 007.5 inches. As far as everything else, it also gets a 007,000 overall score.
007. Wow.
And I got to mention that, in my opinion, Bond in this film gives a whole new meaning to being cheeky with semen.
Yes.
And that's it. That's my review. I like the film. It's one of my favorite Bond films. Not the favorite. Live and Let Die is still my favorite.
Okay. Well, thank you. All right, let's get some scores, and then
why does it sound like you're saying "well, fuck you" instead of "thank you"?
You might get lucky. You might get lucky
maybe
tonight.
I want. Yeah, I was gonna say maybe I want to say it when the stream is off. Huh?
We'll consummate this friendship.
Before 70s slides in between us, I'm gonna read some scores. All right, so let me get here. A Keely Chow, Toxicity, overall 10-10. Amelia Clark's scroll arm. It seems so generic now because it's a template 7-10. Ooh, I'm so sorry, but thank you for your honesty. E. Clay Tomas and Toxicity 7, overall 9, Cleavage 10. Now there's an opinion. Vulcan Lives 7 out of 10, overall 8 out of 10. Toxicity 10 out of 10, 1 life. Okay, I get with that. And then, D-Bud here. Toxicity 9, overall 10, opening stunt 100. The best Moore Bond and best opening stunt ever. Huge. Action Com movie 8 out of 10. Lotus Cars Toxicity. Oh, sorry. Movie 8 out of 10. Lotus Cars. I read that wrong. Toxicity 7 out of 10. Lovely Lines. Josh Post. Toxicity 7. Overall 8. Henchman Jaws 10. Nice. Poke Race 6666. Toxicity overall 10-10. Mr. Zana 1993. Not my favorite, but for my money, this is the greatest Bond film of all time. Utterly brilliant. 10 out of 10 film. 9 out of 10 Toxicity for James Bond getting Bill Cosby in Egypt. Yeah, that was good. Dude, that was worth reading alone just for that. Rob Altus, Toxicity, 9. Bond Girl, 9. Bond Cars, 10. Theme song, 9. Roger Moore, 9. Overall, 9. Lisa, theme song sequence, 10-10. Movie, 8. Toxic, 8. Darth Viewer, movie is an 8 out of 10. Toxicity, 8. One of the best looking Bond girls ever. Radioactive, overall equals 10. Toxicity, 9. Woo! I got through all that. All right, 70s. You're up, and then Claudia will be after you.
It's going to be tough because I think everyone's blown their wad over this one already, but in all directions.
You can do it 70s. You can
in and out, up and down.
Just remember, Claudia.
I've already used the 007 for scoring, so sorry, buddy.
Yeah. Is it just me or is the screen frozen, Bruce? I don't know. It must just be me then.
No,
that's not Bruce. I had to set them down so I could type something.
No, I mean it's yeah.
There we go.
All right, not that I need to see myself. I just wondered if there was something wrong with the stream. Like maybe Bruce has destroyed StreamYard.
Sorry.
Sorry, mate. It's all good, clean fun. I gotta give this film
It's
3
really
X's.
clean, Brian.
I gotta give it triple. I gotta give this film a triple X. 3 X's. Triple X.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Nice.
Vin Diesel's gonna sue you.
It's interesting because I think this did set a new template for Bond going forward very much. So and broke completely with the past. It's got a lot more things to like in it than I called.
I wonder what those things are that he likes. Oh,
Valerie Leon, Caroline Munro, and Barbara Bacher, 3 of them. The fantastic car. I mean, look at the gadgets on that car alone. It's just incredible. Some great sets. Some fantastic globetrotting and cinematography. The opening sequence is phenomenal. The music's outstanding. So I actually am a lot more fond of it than I recall now that I've seen it again for the first time in a year or two, or a couple of years at least. It really, they put everything, including the kitchen sink, in here. So I actually have to say toxicity. It's a lot more toxic than I recall as well. I'll probably give it an 8 out of 10, but I actually think it's like a 9 out of 10 for me now that I've seen it again. I absolutely love it. It's a ton of fun. Has some fantastic stuff in it. I think the villain is not that great. I mean, Richard Keel, Jaws is brilliant, but the main supervillain is kind of bland. That's kind of one thing that detracts from it, I think. I mean, Jaws is fantastic, but otherwise, yeah, 9 out of 10 for me. It's a Roger Moore high point, I'd say.
My name is Bond, James Bond.
And Brian, what do you think? He should have taken on the name instead of like Goldfinger, Webfinger.
Webfinger. I mean, Periscope finger. I don't think it's the best Roger Moore, but that's yet to come for me. But this is pretty damn good.
You know, just looking up how this movie cost $13 million in 1977, which would have been $66 million
which is
today.
Still nothing. I
They
mean,
spent,
it looks more.
They spent what, $300 million on the Marvels? I mean,
oh my god,
it looks great for that. You know, I mean,
it does. It does.
And that set, I mean, that incredible set. They just built such great sets. I know a lot of people think that's over the top, but it was. I remember going to see it at the time. On Your Top. I thought it was a lot of fun. So, yeah, is it quintessential hardcore Bond, as in a la Goldfinger or From Russia with Love? No, it's a very different movie. But if it's judged purely on its own merits like that, it's a lot of fun as a movie. So I'll give it 9 out of 10.
Okay.
Excellent.
Clubby, you're up.
Well, it's all been said very well. I'll simply say that I give it the movie a 9. I love it. It's one of my favorite of the Bond films. I'm not saying it's my favorite Moore film. That's Still Live and Let Die, but I do love this film very much because this is quintessential what Bond for me should be. Again, like a lot of people, Moore is my favorite. I'm a big Simon Templar fan. When I watch him as, even though I saw him first as Bond, of course, but when I went back and watched a lot of The Saint, and even when he was on Maverick, so I do love Roger Moore, and I accept him in the role, and I love his movies. He's not quite, he's not Connery or even Dalton. I'm one of those people that loves Dalton. So, but he's great. And this one, I'm going to go, again, 9 for the movie as a whole. Toxicity, I'd say about maybe a 7. There's a little bit of it in there. One of the hottest Bond girls ever. One of my top 3 or 4 Bond songs. One of the best gadget cars in it. Bland villain, agreed. Kurt Jurgens as, what's Stromberg? Not your better villain, granted. But everything else, the stunts, the action sequences, it moves wonderfully well. And, of course, what it lacks in that villain, it makes up in the great villain of Richard Keel. It's Jaws. Sorry, Richard. I'm sorry.
Richard Keel.
And I love Richard Keel as Jaws. And of course, the only thing really wrong with the film is it has the most horrible James Bond killing ever when he wastes Carolyn Monroe, especially before he had a chance to wait. So
yeah, she's not in it very much,
unfortunately. But yes, love it. So,
all right, red shirt.
All right. Well, I see the relationship between XXX and 007 differently than Bruce. She is trying to out Bond. She is using his own tricks against him, and it works a lot of the time. So it becomes basically a battle of 2 toxic characters that are basically trying to one up each other throughout the film. And in the end, they wind up working well together, and they solve the problem. They get rid of the bad guy and all of that. And when she then wants to kill him, he says, well, in my country, condemned man is granted a last request. She says, all right. He says, why don't we get out of these wet things? And she smiles. So he's won. He's managed the final trick. He pulls the last stunt, and he gets her. The line, holding the British end up, sir, is just icing on the cake for the end of the film. He actually gets the girl. That's something that actually has been removed from a lot of Bond films recently, is, how many women he beds. In Live and Let Die, of course, he winds up stashing one woman in the closet while he bed another one, and that was absolutely pure Bond. Here, he kills some of the women before he manages to bed them. That probably marks it down a little bit for Bond. She should have had them first, then killed them.
Yes.
And the debate, starting this movie out with the greatest stunt of all time in Bond movies, the base jump with the Union Jack parachute. Sorry, that it as a way of starting out a Bond film. If that didn't, as Brian said, I was in the theater watching this too when it first came out, and the audience went nuts because there was a gasp when he went off the cliff and the skis popped off his feet, and everybody's just holding their breath, and then that parachute opened and the place erupted. So what a way to start a movie. And then you have the Lotus Spree. One of the best Bond cars ever. I mean, by this time that DB5 was pretty long in the tooth. And it really wouldn't, it was brought back for nostalgia purposes. But as a Bond car for Q to provide him, the Esprit here is fantastic. And the fact that it becomes a submarine is just all better. That was so cool. James Bond
shoots rockets.
Turns into, and shoots rockets. I mean,
you've got mine.
You've got the successor to the DB5 that had the oil slick and the smoke cloud and the ejector seat. You now have the Bond car of the 70s in this movie. You have the jet ski that he takes off from the submarine. That kind of a James Bond jet ski that he sits on and off he goes. And of course, we're introduced to Jaws, who is the Wile E. Coyote of Bond villains. You throw him off a train, you can drop him off a building, you can basically you can do anything you want to him pretty much, and he just dusts himself off, straightens his tie, and comes back. And of course, he swims all the way to the horizon at the end of the film, and he's going to make it to shore. So they introduced a bunch of things here that I think the Bond films had started to lose. I mean, we had them in the early comedy, and this time they decided, let's go back to gadgets, let's go back to cool machines, let's go back to giving Bond cool stuff. And you've got some gorgeous women in this film, and so toxicity. This is James Bond being every inch James Bond. This is probably this is maybe not my favorite, but one of my definite favorite Roger Moore Bond. It's one of my favorite Bond movies. I wouldn't put it at the top in either category, but it's a very good one. As far as toxicity goes, with Barbara Bach giving James Bond as good as she gets and looking as good as she does while she's doing it, this one gets an 8.5 on toxicity from me, because Bond just doesn't have it his own way, and it's great. And for greatness, as far as movies overall go, I'd put this at about an 8.5. So that's
Has anyone mentioned that Ringo Starr was married to Barbara Bach too? And
Yeah,
who said the
we did.
Beatles are
Yes.
underrated? Okay, I'm sure you did. Yeah.
I was the one who said that.
Beatles were so underrated that their drummer got Barbara Bach for a wife.
Yeah.
Should be
I've always
so
wondered, do you
underrated.
think he uses the rhythm method?
Absolutely.
All right. Richard fucking awesomely said. So, okay. For me, this movie encompasses so many things that I loved about a James Bond movie. The incredible opening sequence. You had the great dynamic and one-upsmanships between Bond and Anya. I didn't see it as she was cucking him. I saw as Richard says, she was trying to play him his own game, and well, he was having to save her ass, for where she was falling short behind on things, and she was.
Times.
And the one thing I do agree with Bruce on, I do agree, Bruce, that Stromberg wasn't a great villain. I feel like that's one movie's downturn. Now, I do love Jaws. On the other hand, obviously, you had a great, incredible soundtrack. One of my absolute favorite soundtracks of all the Bond movies. Marvin Hamlish. And what a score. Love this movie's music. It's incredible. Love the dialogue too. So a lot of my favorite Bond lines are in this movie. I thought the way the story played out, with how everything, folded out, with Anya finding out about Bond and what happened between her husband and him, I thought everything played out perfectly. I thought the action was incredible. And actually, if this is the first between these three Bonds we had so far, I feel like this is actually the one I feel like that utilized its time perfectly, because I did say about the previous two, I felt like they could have cut off 10, 15 minutes on both, including Live and Let Die. I feel like this is the first one where I feel like all 2 hours and 5 minutes of it was absolutely warranted. Absolutely all of it. And I will stand by that hill. So I'm absolutely with it. God, what else? The whole eroticism, man, it's there. Oh, it's there. So for this movie, I'm gonna aim sky high, and I'm gonna point this movie the same way Bond pointed his shaft at Naomi and blew her up from the ends, from the underneath, and give this one a sky high bona fide 9.4 in greatness, straight up. And then for toxicity, I'm gonna go with 8.3, because Anya was a great Bond girl who wasn't really a Bond girl, and it shows you that you can have a Bond girl who can be very involved in the action, but also be utilized very, dare I say, smartly, and great performance. So that's my toxicity score. I'm gonna go with 8.3. 8.3 for the toxicity. So. And I'm going to say this gets a wet handy back from Stromberg out of 11D1. Wet handy back. new term I just made up now. So that, my friends, is The Spy Who Loved Me. And of course, we will be back next week for Moonraker. What we should have been back with For Your Eyes Only, but
Yeah, well, they got that wrong. Yeah.
what can we tell you?
But then Star Wars came out, so
Then Star Wars happened, and the rest was simply history. Anyways, folks, I do appreciate all the member chats. I do appreciate my super chat. Thank you guys, and all our loyal listeners. Thank you guys. You guys were awesome in the chat. You guys had a lot of great comments. You were killing us, much like Gerry and 70s and Dustin were trying to kill us. It was just equal killing both ways, and yet here we are, all still lovely friends. It was a wonderful time. And if you're new to the show, whether you're a viewer, lurker, I thank you for being here. And I hope you come back next week long, hard, and strong for more. So we'll be back doing Moonraker next week. So anyways, yeah, I'll have another video out this week. I had 2 videos out last week. One with Wes from Thinking Critical talking big game. And one talk about the numbers on Alpha Core, breaking the math down. And I'll have another one out this week. And then, of course, Comic Shop Talk. Be talking Fantastic Four versus the Sphinx on Comic Shop Talk. So, and also I was on Poor Choices earlier with X-Ray Girl and Tugs. Dadcast. Go check that shit out. It was a damn good time. Cool ladies. Really cool ladies. Anyways, guys, I thank you dudes on the panel, especially Gerry. You've been missed.
Don't thank that bugger.
Oh, I'm
So you guys thanking him for?
I'm thinking
drag the whole thing down. Made it so gay. He made it so gay.
Wrong. I'm thinking his Tucker. That's what I'm thinking.
He was like,
well, Tucker.
Thanks for being
Pecker,
gone
maybe.
so long.
Pecker, not Tucker.
As Brian would say, the only thing that makes me more gay is getting a blowjob from another guy and making eye contact.
All right. But that's what's going on my side of the universe. And I'm going to try, fingers crossed, nothing goes wrong. Friday morning, I should be able to do the Green Goblin building stream. So
Nice.
fingers crossed for my hot toy.
all right, man. Nice.
All right.
Sweet.
And now we'll make sure if I do it Friday morning, it'll be before Midnight's Edge in the morning, chat. I'm not going to cut into that or even Culture Casino's 10-minute nap. So don't worry.
No cock blocking, huh?
Anyways, 70s. Plug your plugs on the way out.
Plug it, buddy.
Plug those. Plug it.
If
Well,
only you had
Saturday-
plugs. You look so much
So
better.
apart from all the other things that I'm on all over the frickin' place, I've forgotten, like Dick's Division. Saturday night.
Why did that sound dirty?
Saturday night, Brahma and I do Bourbon and Boarding hockey show. But next Monday on my channel, we're doing another edition of the Canon Film Club, and we're going to be talking the Delta Force. So it's Monday, 3 p.m. Mountain Time on that 70s Rock Fan channel. This is going to be so good. It's going to be a lot of fun. Last one was great. Life Force was a brilliant one. This is the one everybody said they wanted to do.
Dude, that is such a killer movie, man. I
So-
love the Delta Force.
Yeah, so that's next
I was
Monday.
a late bloomer to it. I was a late bloomer to this one, but dude, it's so kick-ass.
Great movie, so we'll have a lot of fun in that. Canon Film Club of Tom Corners will be on. Austin Trunick that writes the Canon Film Guides, and if Razor turns up sometimes, he may turn up for this. Who knows?
Maybe he will come.
Maybe. He will come.
Oh my god!
And plug
you guys
it.
have warped my mind for the
So
night.
have I
can't hear
plugged it
anything.
hard? Have I plugged it hard for Gerry? Maybe not. I don't know.
With Gerry, it can always be harder.
It could always be anything. Oh my god, you guys are so filthy. I love you.
Thank you, 70s, for being here, sir. And it was a
Thank
pleasure
you.
having your plugs locked and loaded.
And happy Thanksgiving, everybody out there.
And
on the
happy
panel.
Thanksgiving to you, sir.
Yeah.
Now he's not plugged and loaded, but he's cocked and loaded. Red shirt.
Well, with family coming to visit for Thanksgiving this week, I don't have anything that I'm going to be doing later this week, but I will definitely be back here next Tuesday for another Toxic Tuesday. That's it. Thank you very much, Nick, for inviting me as always. I have a great time.
And I'm pleasured by you being here. Thank you. Mark.
All right. So, but before I do that, I just want to show this article real quick because this is just too cool. So, I'd put the link in the chat, but a couple.
Oh,
bought
this is one that was found in Jersey.
Yeah, lucky couple from Long Island bought a $100 storage unit and discovered it contained a unique item, a 1976 Lotus Esprit sports car from the film Spy Who Loved Me. But they didn't know what it was, so when they're driving with this on the tow truck, all the truck drivers are going crazy, like, what's going on here? And they'd never seen a James Bond movie before, so they had no clue what they had found. So, I'll keep this short, but Elon Musk found out about it, and he put in a bid for $1 million. So he owns the car now. So this was the version that they called it Wet Nelly. So it had ballast tanks, 4 propellers, watertight batteries, and of course the famous fins. It doesn't have wheels and can't functionally drive, and it cost about $100,000 to modify at the time, so about $450,000 today. So I thought that was pretty wild when I was reading about that. Like, could you imagine finding that? Talk about getting lucky,
That's amazing.
Finding that in your storage unit. So Elon Musk has that car now, but pretty wild. But yeah, thanks for having me. Glad to be here. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Check out my channel. My main show was Thursday night, Thursday night at the Clubhouse on Clobberin Time's channel. He'll talk about that. And Sunday night Geekery, we talk about some awesome things like the Marvels and Davros and all the cool things that are happening in the pop culture world. Maybe I'll have to talk about the female Silver Surfer. I don't know if Clobberin Times will want to show up for that, but
I'm always there.
You're always there. You're except when I show Neelix's feet, but that's another story.
Yeah, ooh.
Ew. But I'm sorry I missed folks. Yeah, sorry I missed that first part of the show. We had a political meeting that was supposed to take a half hour and vote on some rules changes, and typical government stuff. It took 3.5 hours or whatever, but glad to make it here. And I'm sorry I missed whatever Gary said in the first half. I'm gonna have to go listen to that and tell my daughter not to watch. Maybe I'll clip the 30 seconds where it's safe and
or just censor it.
Censor
it before she sees it.
Beep. Yeah, but no, it's always a lot of fun to be on here, and yeah, this is a fun movie to hang out with you guys. So everyone have a great Thanksgiving. I'll be deep frying the turkey and talking about that on Sunday night too. So have fun, everyone, and appreciate anyone who subs. I think I need 10 more subs for 1,000. So that'd be cool if anyone subs. So
I've already subbed on all of my accounts, so I can't give you any more.
All 900.
I manage 5 YouTube accounts, and I always make sure.
Thank you.
To use all 5 accounts up for my friends.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Mark, and thank you for your services, and thank you for your multitasking. I know, obviously, definitely a bit difficult for you tonight, but we're very thankful on the panel and the chat.
I'm glad I didn't put the mic on, with the political meeting, and start talking about Toxic Tuesday, but in the wrong Zoom meeting by accident. That would have been bad.
And I love how you always show up with your big D.
Thank you. Aim to please.
Yeah.
But Gary, is it the biggest you've ever seen on a man?
Never ask somebody that question. That's like asking a woman her age.
Well, guess what?
You have the biggest dick I've ever seen on a man.
I heard you come.
All right, TZ, I had your score. I forgot to have it, so I'll do it now. Overall 8, Toxic 7, Barbara, of course, 10. All right, Bruce, sir, what do you got to plug?
Well, later on this week, we're not having a D&D stream because the holidays are going to be interrupting that. But I do believe Friday night and Saturday, I'll be doing a chill stream where you get to see me do what I'm doing right now and trying to relax and get the rest of the cellulitis out of me. Thanks for everybody showing up tonight. Nick and panel, I appreciate you guys putting up with me. I know sometimes I can be a handful, sometimes. Other times it's much less. So appreciate everybody being here and the disagreements. I really do appreciate that. We've got Monday night, me and Janet are talking about the movie Nefarious this is the last movie in our Sean Patrick Flannery series that we've done for all of November. That's Monday night, 19:30, 7:30 Central Standard Time PM for anybody that's interested. Appreciate you guys for coming. She will dual stream it onto her scene as well. Please help her get to 1,000 subscribers. I'd love to see that. Thank you, sir, for allowing me to be here and plug my plug.
Oh, dude, hey, you have an open plug here, and we aim to fill. I'm glad you could be here. And I get to watch your figures play with toys while we get to fill your plug. It's a very mutual feeling. We get to have it both ways sometimes. So thank you.
Almost like a double pin, almost, you know? Almost as miserable as a double Dutch rudder.
Have a great night and week and Thanksgiving, sir. Seriously, it's been fucking awesome. Clubby.
Yeah, buddy. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it. Always a pleasure to be here with these, especially with you, Gary. Man, this is special. It was special for me to be here for his return. So good. Glad you're here, buddy.
It's always good to see you, buddy.
Good to see you, man. Let's see. Tomorrow night, well, now you had to ruin it. I have nothing to say. No, I don't know if usually on Wednesday nights, Loki has his comic roundtable. I don't know if that escapes, but if so, I'll be there tomorrow night. It's at 7 Eastern, Central, 7 Central. And then at 9 Central tomorrow night on my show, since it is Doctor Who month and the BBC sucks, I'm celebrating Doctor Who month this week, and I'm going to be counting down my top 25 all-time favorite Doctor Who episodes. And then the Clubhouse on Thanksgiving night, and I'll be there as usual. So will Raquel, and then Marcus has a chance he might stop by and say hi, or he might not. He's a mysterious that way. So
depends on the turkey coma. No, I'll try to be there. Yep.
And then Friday night, I guess, Nicholas, we're doing we're gonna. It's gonna take some time to do all that whole saga. Now
we came up with a format to how we're gonna work it for Friday.
All right.
We came up with a format. We're gonna do 1 to 2 panels per issue, and also we're gonna be a bit more concise rather than go EFAP comic style on it.
No, we don't have to do that. But yeah, we're gonna do the whole thing though in one night.
Yeah, because like I said, it's gonna be 1 to 2 per issue, and we're gonna be a lot more to the point.
All right, cool. That's fine. That's a lot of comics. I haven't even read them yet. I haven't even reread them, I should say. I've read them before. But anyway, well, there's that. Then Saturday night Star Trek. Again, same Trek time, same Clubby channel, 9 p.m. Central, where Raquel and I review 4 more scintillating episodes of Star Trek Voyager.
Neelix.
And Mr. Neelix, by the way, Neelix will not be allowed in the room. I'm changing Mark D with a C's name to Neelix from now on. And Captain Neelix over there. And then I'll be at the Geekery with the great Mark D with a C on his channel, his Neelix free channel. So anyway, and again, happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Appreciate you.
All right. Dustin.
This weekend was huge for my channel. Okay, so I hit 4,000 subscribers.
All right.
Awesome.
Excellent.
And I opened up a membership on my channel.
Ooh.
And I didn't announce it, say anything about it. I still have 26 members already.
Huge.
There you go.
Oh,
Huge.
Right, you guys are familiar with Mr. Grant Gregory, correct?
Yeah.
Very nice woman.
He gave away 20 memberships that morning.
Holy shit. Hell yeah. Shout out Mr. Grant Gregory. Hooking a brother up.
Sweetness.
Good dude,
So I
by
was
the way.
Dude, huge, man. Huge. Just like totally like all in the fields and shit, you know?
Yeah.
And so I just shout him out because I know you guys know him. And so, yeah, doing a lot of lives now. Shandra and I do a Tuesday live, just she and I hang out, chat with everybody. I started doing a Saturday morning live where I was inviting guests. Wasn't really anticipating it to do what it's done. I have, as I said at the beginning of the stream, is 2 weeks, 2 guests, and I'm already booked up to. I'm starting to book March.
Hell
so
yeah.
a guest every Saturday.
Fucking awesome, dude. Thank you, Eric K, for plugging his plug too, by the way.
Yes.
Hey, Eric K.
It is huge.
So I also do a live on Sunday, 7:30 a.m., the one we were talking about. Yeah, I just sit and drink coffee and talk to people. Like I said, I started that, didn't anticipate anybody showing up, and they do. So that's always super awesome. So now the Saturday stream will be different times each week. You in the morning still, but just depends on what time zone my guest is from. So I don't want them having to get up at 4:30 in the morning or whatever. It'll be usually 8 a.m. their time zone. So anywhere between 8 and what's that, like 11 Eastern Standard Time, depending. So yeah, come out, chat, hang out. And like I said, if any of you have anything that you've been working on with yourself, health-wise, anything, that doesn't have to necessarily be weight loss. Just come out, let me know. We'll set it up. We'll talk, because I want to spread that positivity and that, that all that stuff to everybody, as many people as I can. So
good, man. That's what I like to hear. That is what I like to fucking hear, dude. Wait till you get to 11,000.
Head of my dick will pop off.
As long as you can put it back on, then pop it again. I'm good.
Yeah,
with
dude.
that. All right, Gerry, you're last, and then we're pulling out.
I'm not pulling out of shit.
Oh,
I use the rhythm method. So, one, I want to state that what Brian meant to say earlier when he said Happy Thanksgiving was Happy Thanks Take It All. Also, I will join you, Brian, when you show the only true canon film, The Last American Virgin.
Then it's a deal. If you can point me
I've
to where
talked
the
to you
Last
about this
American
before.
Virgin,
I love
if you
that
can point
fucking
me to where we can find the Last American Virgin,
I
where
have
do we
a
find
copy
that?
of it.
I don't mean the movie. Oh, sorry, a movie. Okay, right.
Actually, find a Last American Virgin.
You're welcome, mate.
And I
You're
am
welcome.
really good at it's the 209 mark. I'm going to record your Brian saying the show is over. I fucking love that when you said that. I'm going to be
I'm so
joining
droll.
Nick next week on what show am I joining you on next week, Nick?
Comic Shop.
Toxic. Oh, that's it. Yeah, because I'm going to be.
Well, you can do
announcing
both
it.
if you want to do Moonraker and then the Comic Shop show for your comic book.
By the
will
way,
be out.
I think it should have been called Backraker.
That was the original, and they had some title. It was going to
It
be.
should have been the name of it, Backraker.
Yeah, they had some fights over it, but they tried to call it that first. A lot of people
Or
did.
call it butt and a word that rhymes with raker.
Butt taker.
With a P.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't want to say the word. It's one thing to be demonetized; it's another one to be removed from YouTube for that word.
You don't want that. No.
But I don't know. It's fun being here. I'm going to be on there next week. I'm going to be on Midnight Session next week, and helping to join Clobby and some of the other guys on their comic shows to talk about the launch of our crowdfunding campaign. I'm going to be working with Marvel DC artist Richard Bonk. The introduction is going to be written by none other than Mike Barron.
Nice.
Awesome. Because we're good friends, but I worked with him and Chuck Dixon, and both of them were up for it because both have read it and loved it. But Mike Barron had a really good reaction to the book and told me he wants to write the introduction to the book. Now, it doesn't mean it's going to be favorable. Mike could be a dick. I hate this book. But we'll be doing that next week, and it'll be fun to join you on something other than this. But I'll be back now that I'm back out here where I belong, because they call me the garage troll for a reason. I can get on the show.
Going to the garage is an upgrade?
Yes, it is for me. You guys, I no guarantees. Dustin, I will join you at some point and bring my keto cheesecake because it's amazing, dude. I will. But anyway, I appreciate it, guys. And by the way, I will share it after the show before we all leave. I'm going to show Mark how many. It's nine different YouTube channels that I've subbed to you for.
Wow.
All nine.
Nine.
Nice. A lot of butt plugging.
9. He said 9. Yeah.
I got lucky tonight.
All right, dudes. It's been fucking awesome. Thank you for being here, chat. And yes, go watch Midnight's Edge in the morning tomorrow at their Culture Casino's 10-minute nap. Thank you for supporting Toxic Tuesday. We'll see you next week for Moonraker, and I'll see some of you.
Happy Take It All.
Talk. and eat a lot of food on Thanksgiving, including turkey. All right.
I'm cooking
Good night,
two of them.
everybody.